Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you guys are having a good day. I'm gonna shout out everyone here. We got some news to talk about. There's some breaking news about the Mario movie. It has been delayed, which I'm gonna say is not really surprising considering that didn't they announce the release date over a year before, like ahead of time? That seemed a little ambitious to be like, yeah, we're gonna announce the release date for a movie that's not done a year from now. It always felt a little weird. By the way, most movies don't announce release dates before they even show a trailer. So this is a movie we haven't even seen yet. So it got delayed to spring. We'll talk about that in a bit. That was news that broke right as we were going live. But first, I have to talk about something that's weighing on my mind today. If you've been checking out my Twitter account over the last hour, you might know two things have been happening. One, I was watching the Nets and Celtics game, which does look like the Celtics are going to win, but we'll see. You know, there's like 6 minutes left. So there's that. You guys know I'm a big NBA fan, and whoever wins that series, likely my Bucks will play next. But also, the more important thing I talked about, is a really tragic thing that happened right in my backyard, basically. Not literally the backyard of my house, but right here in my hometown. There's no easy way to talk about it, but I want to use this as an opportunity to maybe let some emotions out and a little PSA because this hit really close to home, and it's been weighing on my mind all day, especially once the news broke, the worst possible outcome. So last night, a 10-year-old girl went missing on her way home. She was at her aunt's house or something like that, and was bike riding home late in the evening / early night. It might have still been light out. I'm not exactly sure. And she never made home. Obviously, her dad called the police, missing persons report. They found her bike in the middle of the woods on a trail between her aunt's house and downtown Chippewa Falls. That's where I live. Wasn't a very long trail. Really not that long of a trail. I've been on the trail myself. They found her bike there, and this morning they found her dead. And the early reports from the police is that she was murdered. That this wasn't like an accident where she fell off the trail and knocked herself out and drowned or something like that, because the trail does go across a small little creek. But then somebody obviously took her off her bike and then did whatever and killed her. She was just 10 years old. Obviously, thoughts, prayers, whatever that's worth to the family that's going through this. And it's a little tough because, one, I have a 10-year-old daughter. Not that my 10-year-old daughter would ever be on a bike trail riding home at 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night anyways. I wouldn't allow that to happen, even without this, because I don't think a 10-year-old should be out on their own in any circumstance. Even if it's just riding bike between family houses. The houses were a mile apart. That's not that far. Doesn't matter. I personally wouldn't let my children do this, and that's before this happened. So I'm not blaming the parent. I'm not blaming the family who let her bike home. But it is one of those situations where kind of a PSA to parents. I don't care how safe you think your town is, how safe you think your neighborhood is. Don't be letting kids out on their own. Don't be letting them bike to the local grocery store or bike to a friend's house, or, bike from, one family member's house to another family member's house, or go on some long walk by themselves. There's an age when maybe you can consider letting them do that, right? Like, 15, 16, 17. Fine. At those ages, though, they're also thinking about driving, which is infinitely safer from, obviously, kidnapping than riding a bike, especially at night. But I don't want to pile on the family because they're going through a hard time. But it hits even closer because I know the girl. For those who don't know, 4 years ago, I was part of an after-school program with the YMCA. This program was, you could call it a glorified daycare if you want. It was a little bit more involved than that. We would be at the school, taking care of kids until about 8 o'clock at night. And, there'd be like 30 kids or whatever at all the various schools in the district. And, we'd help them with their homework. We would cover any lessons that the teacher went through that the student maybe struggled with. We'd kind of reteach them the lessons. So there was some teaching involved. And obviously various activities, playtime. And I hadn't seen her in a while. I mean, because it's not my kid. But she was part of that program. So I was one of the people responsible for her at one point in her life. So when I saw who it was and I saw a picture of her, I just... No, I said this on Twitter. I'm gonna say this again. Things like this make a lot of the things that we complain about seem so small. Yeah, obviously video games and complaining about this. Tonight we're gonna be talking about some former staff members at Nintendo of America complaining about the way Nintendo treated their staff. And the complaints seeming pretty real at this point with over 13, 14 people complaining. It doesn't make Nintendo right, but it's small in comparison to a child being murdered. A lot of people get passionate about politics, arguments over racism, Me Too movements, Black Lives Matters, sexism, a lot of bad things, right? All these arguments and politically fueled debates that we have, all of that pales in comparison to a child getting murdered. There's a lot of sickos out there. A lot of people that need mental help. A lot of people that shouldn't exist in this society. And if every person who would harm a child would just no longer exist, I could be happy the rest of my life. Forget what happens in the political realm. Forget what happens with the wars out there. Forget what happens with a lot of other things. But a little girl was trying to get home to her dad. And she didn't make it. Less than 3 miles from my house. I apologize for being a little emotional at the moment. You know, when it happens in your backyard, it's not like you're not aware that this stuff happens, right? You Google child kidnappings, Amber Alerts, children getting murdered. It's not like it's uncommon, unfortunately. It happens, at least in the United States, it happens all over the country. So this isn't like it's, any more prevalent now than it was before this happened. But, it's always different when it hits close to home and you're a parent yourself with someone the exact same age who once played with this girl. My daughter might not remember her, but that's okay. I'm actually glad she doesn't remember her because it'd probably be hard on her too. But, when she was 6, she was playing with this girl at my work. And the thing is, I don't want it's not my loss, it's the family's loss, and more important than the family, it's her loss. It's the child's loss because that child, she's the one that isn't going to get to live a full life and experience some of the best parts of it. First time driving a car. First time hanging out with friends without, family being around, having sleepovers. Getting to graduate high school and try to figure out what's next in your life. And so to Lily and her family, I feel for you. To all other parents out there, learn something from this. And what you should learn is it doesn't matter where you live. I live in a small town, less than 14,000 people, and there's even smaller towns around me. Doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter how safe you think it is. Doesn't matter that my hometown was rated by Time Magazine as the #1 place in the whole of United States to raise your children. It doesn't matter where you live. You cannot trust anyone. Your kid might want to go off on their own. Your kid might think, I can bike ride to grandma's, it's okay. Grandma might just be mile down the road. It's okay, I can do it. You don't need to come with dad. You don't need to come with mom. I can go on my own. No, you can't. And it's not because I don't trust the kid. It's because I don't trust anybody else. I don't trust the drivers. I don't trust the teens. I don't trust anybody. It's why my children have never been anywhere where a trusted adult was not present. They haven't gone on bike rides without a trusted adult. They haven't gone on walks without a trusted adult. They haven't gone to friends' houses without trusted adults. And it's going to stay that way for a long time. People sometimes go, Nate, why don't you let your kids have cell phones? Right? They can get a hold of you. You can find your children. This girl had a cell phone. What did it do for Lily? It's important that we protect our youth until they are old enough to protect themselves. And that's all. That's really all I can say about it. I don't want to. I don't want to spend too long on on this topic because it's incredibly sad. There's nothing to be done at this point. The police do have some leads on two suspects that might have done it or might have done it together. I have no idea what the evidence is at this point because obviously they don't publish that stuff until the people are in custody and they're bringing charges. So we're not going to know too many more details until probably next week sometime. But gotta protect the kids and obviously protect yourselves. I know there's more dangerous places out in the world where like I think Lily Young in the chat mentioned, hey, I'm 18 and I can't even go walking because I'm a girl, and hey, that's sad that you live a life where you need to be afraid of that. I would say it might be worth investing in a taser at that point. But you have to worry about yourself and worry about your future. But anytime we lose a young one of non-natural cause. I mean, it's sad enough when you lose a kid to cancer, other diseases, maybe even COVID, for crying out loud. It's sad enough when you lose a kid to anything. But when that child is taken from you, not by an act of God, not by natural causes, not by even a freak accident where the child chased a ball into the road and got hit by a car, like that sucks too. But when someone goes out of their way to end a child's life, it just makes all this other crap that we're always complaining about, all this other crap that we're always debating about, all this other crap that we think is so damn important, just seem like it's so small. You know what's most important? That we protect the kids. That the people that might get these sick thoughts crossing their minds to murder a child, that we get them help before something actually happens. That they get the mental help they need. Before it gets to the point that they're making choices they can't take back. All right. That being said, we have a couple Nintendo topics to talk about today. I guess we'll get to the breaking news first. Let me edit my little thing here because it's definitely not Thirsty Thursday. First, to talk about the breaking news. As you see, Nintendo of America, it's funny because this is Miyamoto. Don't know why it has to be Miyamoto. It could just be a general announcement, but whatever. After consulting with Chris Sand, my partner at Illumination on the Super Mario Bros. Film, we decided to move the global release to spring 2023, April 28th in Japan and April 7th in North America. My deepest apologies, but I promise it will be well worth the wait. So my thoughts on this are, why do you give us a release date like a year early, Nintendo? I'm not bothered by the delay. We haven't even seen a damn trailer, right? We haven't even seen a damn trailer. The release date always felt optimistic. And even now, like, you're delaying it. Why give us an exact date again? Because if it gets delayed again, now it won't be April 28th. It's not going to be May or June. Yeah, like, why even give us a release date? You made the mistake the first time. Don't make it again. Just say the movie's delayed till spring and leave it at that, right? Like, most movies don't give you release dates until we see a trailer, right? The trailer reveals the release date because the trailer means the movie is coming close to being done. Without a trailer, it makes it feel like the movie still has a lot of work to do. So to me, this move just feels like, hey, we should have never announced that release date in the first place. So are we even going to see a movie this year? Are we even going to see a movie this year? I have no idea. So that's one of the stories today that broke. Obviously, we'll be talking a little bit about some issues going on at Nintendo as well. Sloop is confirmed by Nerd. Now, how do we have a confirmation? I know Modern Vintage Gamer did his video, and he concluded that he thinks it's highly likely that Sloop is indeed a nerd thing, and that this leak is real. That was his conclusion, but it was far from definitive. So do we have definitive confirmation? That's the biggest thing. We can keep saying, oh, everything points, that's fine, but is there anything definitive? Because everything can be faked, regardless of what experts say. Everything can be faked. So that's just something to consider. So if there's some definitive proof out there, that's pretty cool. What are you guys' thoughts on the Mario movie being delayed? I'm just curious what your guys' thoughts on this is. Sloop is, I believe, a Game Boy Advance emulator that was part of the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, etc. leak for Nintendo Switch Online. Now, the files in that dated back to 2019. So a bit of an older file leak, I suppose. But yeah. And the Celtics beat the Nets. That's funny. And even in Kevin Durant's best game, he could not shoot 50%. Anyway, sorry. I found it funny. All right. Don't care. I need to see a trailer before I can even make a judge. I mean, the movie thing, we can't judge the movie itself, right? Like the Mario movie hasn't come out. You haven't seen a trailer. So there's nothing to really judge with the movie. But I'm just curious what people feel about even them announcing it when they did, now delaying it. I've seen a few reactions, or some people make a joke of it. Some people are like concerned. Maybe they got internal feedback on the Mario movie and it was not good, similar to Sonic movie. I'd rather they take their time and do it right. I mean, I have no idea. And, Miyamoto there says he was consulting with his partner at Illumination on it. But I mean, again, we hadn't even seen it. Haven't even seen a trailer, so it's a little weird. To see that sort of delay. Before we move on into what we're talking about next, the first topic, the Nintendo facing troubled times. Tell you guys a little update to our shot chart today, because I'm going to be drinking a beer. Literally, my drink tonight is a beer. Cheers. So normally you guys know I'm doing beer shots. So you might be wondering, what the hell is going on? Well, it's pretty simple. What's happening here? We are adjusting the shot chart a smidge, just a smidge. So, for $1 super chats, we're gonna be doing rum chata till the bottle's gone. Right? There's like this much left in the bottle. There's not that much. What's replacing our $5 shot tonight is something that I don't know that I want to try it. I heard it's absolutely disgusting, but it's not a booze that we're replacing for $5. It's Mountain Dew Flaming Hot. Yeah, this is the full 280 calorie version. It's insane. Caution, Flaming Hot. I heard it's just disgusting and it just sits in your throat. I have no idea. I have never tried this. So this is going to be our shot for $5 tonight. I guess we'll do shots of this till there's none left. I am not looking forward to it. I think it's going to be one of the grossest things I have ever tasted in my life. But I've tasted every Mountain Dew flavor that's ever come out. And this is the latest. And I think it's going to be disgusting. Mountain Dew Flaming Hot. I I don't know. That's our $5 shot tonight. Then we still have our $10 Dr. Cherry, our $20 UV, and then we still have our tequila. We're gonna knock this one down to $50 tonight as well. Just because I'm still dealing with knee pain. God, I didn't even talk about that, but yeah, some people wanted an update on my knee pain. They were asking me on Twitter. My knee is still killing me. There's a project I had to do over the weekend before my knee was better, so it got reinflamed. So I'm just delaying badly how long it's gonna take my knee to recover. I'm just dumb. So yeah, my knee is still killing me, and it's still a struggle to move around. But I did it to myself this weekend because I had a project that I had to get done. So what are you gonna do? All right. I'll believe GBA when Nintendo says it's out. Let's see here. I have a few reliable sources telling me there is a Tactics Ogre remaster reveal trailer ready to go, possibly debuting late spring, early summer. I mean, it's flaming hot soda. What's to like? I don't know. It's gonna be, if we get a $5 super chat tonight, this is gonna be pretty gross. I just have a feeling, and it's like in between. It's like not quite room temperature. It's a little cooler than room temperature, but not like refrigerator cold. So it's gonna be, maybe it's one of those, it's not so bad at cold, but it's really disgusting at warm, and I have it in an in-between state, which is probably going to be warm by the time we do one tonight, so I'm not looking forward to it. Turbo Laz 1, by the way, used this free member chat. By the way, thank you so much for being members. We're trying to get to 200 members. All I got to do is hit that join button. S-Chat dudes, he's working hard for your news. People don't have to super chat. That's the thing. We do have the shots and entertaining stuff, and we dance, and for $50 and up, we also not only will do a shot of the tequila, but we do the custom rap song I bust out for you guys. But the thing is, all that's just for entertainment purposes. Nobody ever has to super chat or donate or anything. Never feel pressured to do it. I do appreciate the support. Obviously, the support during these live streams are huge and make up a significant chunk of revenue for the channel. But if the day comes that we don't even get a single super chat, it's not like I'm going to die over here. I'll live. I don't stream specifically to get super chats. I stream because I want to talk to you guys. That being said, let's look at the next bit of news. And speaking of that next bit of news, of course, we get our first super chat. There it is. Let's go. Thank you, Turbo Last 1 for 99. Woo! Nah, I still do it even though it's a penny short, guys. Because that's just Apple products. Apple products short you by a penny. Nothing you can do about it. All right, let's crack open that Mountain Dew Flaming Hot. So people know it's a fresh bottle. What does that smell? So right off the bat, it kind of smells like it kind of looks like it too. So it kind of smells like Livewire. You guys know what Mountain Dew Livewire tastes like. That's what this smells like. This Mountain Dew Flaming Hot. This is our $5 shot tonight. You can see it has that orange color to it. So it definitely, like, I wonder if Livewire is the base of it. Or maybe it's no, it smells like Livewire. I don't know. I'm getting my beer ready because that beer is going to taste way better than this, I have a feeling. Who knows? Watch me do this shot, and I like it. Watch it be absolutely delicious. And I'm like, man, I thought I was doing this as a punishment shot tonight, and I like it. So we're about to do a shot of Mountain Dew Flaming Hot. Without further ado, I'll let it sit for a moment too, maybe. Unless I'm choking. All right, here we go. Here's our Mountain Dew Flaming Hot $5 shot tonight. Okay. So, Livewire is the base. So that's the good news. Livewire is the base. So it's weird. So like, oh man. So it doesn't taste bad going down. The Livewire flavor kind of overpowers the taste buds on the way down. So it kind of just tastes like Livewire, but somebody spiked it and you can't quite figure it out. But then after it goes down, when it coats your throat on the way down and it sits there for a few seconds, suddenly whatever spice or pepper or whatever they put in it, I mean, does it say? It says, what do we got? Let's see here. It does not say what it is. That's funny. It just has like all the normal stuff that's in pop, but does not say what the flavor is. Anyways, whatever the pepper is, or the spice, it just sits there. And then it starts to like eat at your throat. Like if you've ever had like a really spicy pepper before, and yeah, it can be hot in the roof of your mouth, but you get that feeling in the back of your throat. I'm trying to describe this to you guys. Like, I don't know how many of you guys have actually had, spicy peppers before. Like a habanero or something, or worse than that. I mean, habanero's not that bad. But for some of you guys, it would be really bad. So it kind of sits on my throat, and it's like tingling and eating at it, and it just tastes gross. So it's like, it tastes like Livewire going down, and then it just sits there and gets worse and worse and worse and worse. Yeah, it's like an aftertaste of spiciness, but one that like clings to your throat, and it's just like, I would not say it's enjoyable. I will say it's not the worst thing I've ever drank in my life, but I would never choose to drink this on purpose. So I am glad that I made that the $5 shot tonight, because that is disgusting on the aftertaste. I do not. That is not enjoyable. That is not enjoyable. The fact that I went to the beer shortly after should all you need to know. When I'm trying to get it off my throat. Man, I'm trying to get that off my throat. All right. It's the don't buy this soda flavor, which of course makes people buy it because they're curious, right? It's still there like 5 minutes later. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm still tasting this 5 minutes later. Dude, I've drank every flavor of Mountain Dew that's ever existed, so. But yeah, as I said, it definitely uses Livewire for the base, which I think tricks you. It tricks you because you're drinking it, and you're like, oh man, like if I was just drinking this normally, and I was like, oh man, I need a drink. I'd probably take a bigger swig than that. I would probably swig down to here, take a few gulps, and it's like, oh man, I'm just chugging some Livewire. Then you set it down, and there's instant regret. And that's how they get you. That's how they get you with the flaming hot. It's not that it's so hot you can't drink it, but they get you by teasing you with a good tasting soda, and then fucking you once you stop drinking. Anyways, so there you have it. It's capsaicin and chili powder. See, and I like chili powder. Capsaicin, it's okay. I do like chili powder, but whatever it is, the combination of it with the acidicness, it just sits there in the throat. It's like clings in a way that I'm not really used to. It could have been Pang. See, that one bothered me though. I like that stuff. All right. Should have chugged it all down. No thanks. We'll keep it at a $5 shot. That is just continual punishment all night long. So there you go. If people want to donate and have me do a shot that's not alcoholic, $5 is the one. All right. Long time ago, they should have. Oh, dude, Pepsi Blue was good. Pepsi Blue was good back in the day. your super chat question. Any new rumors on a new Switch for Breath of the Wild 2 release behind the scenes? Someone must have let you know something, even if it is ridiculous. So it's funny. There's nothing. Anybody talking about a new Switch coming with Breath of the Wild 2's release is guessing, speculating, and hoping. There is literally nothing. It is so dead silent on new Switch hardware right now. Even like the little whispers that happen behind the scenes from the fringe rumor people out there, it's just dead silent, and I know why. Even if some of these people might know something, after last year, they are too afraid to say anything. So, I have heard nothing. And I think all that's happening is the reason we're hearing so many people talk about it is because they want it to happen. They speculate it'll happen. Oh, Digital Foundry, said it could happen. But they didn't talk about sources. They just speculated. So, I will say I have heard nothing. So I wouldn't expect it. But you know what? Things happen when you least expect it. The problem is people actually expect it. So it's not really the least expected time at this point, Do we keep this in mind? Drink for punishment during Summerfest? During our Prime Gaming Fest? Probably not. I don't think it's a strong enough punishment shot. Hence why I'm willing to do multiple of them for $5 tonight. It's not a strong enough punishment shot. Well, we literally will be doing hot sauce shots. So this is weak compared to what we're going to be doing. That's going to be on our Wheel of Death. We're going to have some pretty nasty stuff on there. So, what are my thoughts on Xenoblade 3 ratings info? Nothing. Why are people shocked? Here's what I don't understand about the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 stuff. It made all these headlines because it talked about how there's revealing clothing and, not fully covered boobs, and the word shit and bitch is said in it. And it's like, okay, and I don't really, and I don't really understand what the big deal is. Who cares? It's gonna be rated T for teen. Who cares? I just don't know what the problem is. Am I supposed to be offended by boobs at this point? You know how many boobs I've seen in real life, let alone video games? Am I supposed to be offended by that or something? Am I supposed to be offended, that the men are probably going to be good looking and ripped with their shirts off half the time? Okay. Am I supposed to be offended that the word shit's going to be used or someone's going to say bitch at some point? Dude, I'm in my mid-30s. This shit's weak sauce, man. So, I don't know. I know, the person who brought it up wasn't saying that they're complaining about it. I just think that that's the only reason people are talking about it, because they're for some reason, shocked. A Nintendo game is going to do what? Okay. Have you ever played Xenoblade before? It's not really out of character for the franchise. So what are we even talking about here? Oh, Nintendo is letting them be just a smidge edgier than they've been before. Okay, and your point? In before the game is fully censored in the US and you don't see any boobies. Let me see here. Alcohol is overrated. Avoid. Oh, Dr. Peter Van Nostrand. That speaks as somebody who has never had a good time on alcohol. Here's what I can tell you about booze in my life. One, times like now where I have extreme knee pain, takes away the pain, lets me sleep better. Two, dude, being buzzed is fun for me. It ain't fun for everybody. Some people don't like the feeling. I like the feeling. And I like it even more because I drink so much damn water that I don't really get hangovers. So I just enjoy it. Now, I don't enjoy the taste. Like, if you're just talking about how, it's over. Yeah, of course, alcohol tastes disgusting. People aren't drinking it typically for the taste. They're drinking it for where they're heading. Now, some people do drink for taste, of course. I'm not one of those people. I drink because I like the way I feel when I get buzzed. Slows my mind down a little bit. Lets me sleep better. Lets me focus better in some cases. And it's kind of like the reason that people get high or whatever, I suppose, right? It's just a good feeling. Now, if you drink too much, obviously that's a problem. It's a problem for everybody. And if you're someone who gets out of control, someone who gets violent, like there's, everyone reacts a little differently. I just happen to be a fun person when I'm tipsy. So, I had a Nutella whiskey shot yesterday with my friends after the wedding. It was amazing. That just sounds like a waste of good Nutella. I also don't like whiskey, but I mean, I done plenty of whiskey. Literally this upcoming Saturday, I have a poker game. That's right. Your buddy has friends and we play poker, cash game. And we will be having apparently whiskey tasting there with like 20 different types of whiskey or something. I don't know. The thing is, I'm not really excited about it because I don't really like whiskey, but I'm sure it'll be offered for free while I win everyone's money at the table. So. You can't handle the stink of alcohol? The stink. All right. Great story the last couple days. Keep up the momentum. Hey, man. I mean, the stories are what they are. The Ubisoft one today, I was like a day or two behind on that one. Probably why it didn't perform that well. But that's all right. I'm more curious what people thought about my editing. I was trying out some fancier editing in today's video. Did anybody watch today's video? And did you even notice that I did some fancier editing? Or was it like... Nope, didn't even notice you did anything. It's okay if you didn't. That's the thing. I always wonder, like, is the extra time it takes to do the fancier editing worth it? If people don't even notice it. Yeah, I had a rumball once. Did not like how it messed with my vision. I don't blame you for that. Rumballs can be a bit rough. Watch but didn't notice because I watched YouTube in the background. I was supposed to notice. That's the thing. When you do good editing, you're not really supposed to notice it per se. It's just supposed to slightly enhance what you're already watching. Now, I didn't do any sound effects with it today, which maybe if I would have added some sound effects in, it would have been better. But I did some fancier stuff. So I don't know. If people are noticing it, it's whatever. I might still keep doing it anyways. But am I going to do a video on Quantum TV? Also, your editing was amazing today. It caught me off guard when the pics started moving. There we go. Someone who actually watched the video. Did it enhance the video? That's the bigger question. Like, it can look fancy and cool, but did it actually enhance it in any way? Or did it just be like, oh, Nate knows how to do some fancy things? But like, okay, but did it enhance the video? That's the thing. I didn't do it for the whole video. I didn't do it the whole 13 minutes. But I'm just playing around with some stuff and obviously getting quicker at it, so it doesn't take as long. And I want to do more things like it in the future. I don't even know what the hell is Quantum TV. I don't even know what you're talking about. So am I gonna make a video on it? Can't make a video on something I don't know. Quantum TV. Confirm that Quantum TV is threatening me and my family with doxing and violence. Who is Quantum TV? I don't know what Quantum TV is. I literally don't even know what it is. So, will I be doing a video on it? Probably not, because I've never heard of them. So it's like hard for me to do videos on channels that I'm assuming it must be a channel. Why are people popping off? It looks like people are saying this is some pretty serious shit. So it's definitely a YouTuber, not a small. Well, he's smaller than me.
Today we're
Whoops. It's a YouTuber who's smaller than me, but he gets pretty decent views. He does. Okay, so he does some edited videos, but then he also does some live streams. And his live streams seem to be like, I mean, it looks like he just talks about tech. I mean, I see that someone had said that he lists everything as a fundraiser. Hold on. Here, hold on. Obviously, I don't know enough about the accusations, but I find this weird. This to me is weird. That is not what you should be seeing right now. What the heck? You should be seeing that. All right. So this is Quantum TV. Why is everything a fundraiser? Is this like a YouTube trick? Because he's got 66 or 65,000 subscribers, but like look at the views he's getting. 54K, 12, 125, 36, 12, 10, 23, 26, 14. What I'm asking is, without knowing the controversy, what's up with the fundraiser? I actually want to know, like, so when you upload a video on YouTube, for those who don't know, you can select a check mark that says this video is a fundraiser. Okay. Now you don't have to link anything. Like, let me just click on this video. Like you'll see, there's no. He turned off the comments. So it says fundraiser, but there's nothing to fundraise, right? There's nowhere to donate, right? It's just a check mark on the back end. Okay. So it's a check mark on the back end. And what I'm curious, and this is just something I'm wondering, if you select fundraiser, does YouTube push your video more? It's on the right. Let me open that up. Again, mute. I mean, he's already muted. Donation collected for Hope for Pause. Okay. But that's fine. Okay. So I don't mind that he's like doing this charity thing. But my question is, the selecting the fundraiser, because I could put a fundraiser on every one of my videos. Whatever. Does that push your video more? Is that like a thing? Does YouTube push your content more if you select fundraiser? That's just a general curiosity I have. Like, does YouTube push your videos more if you have a fundraiser on them? I guess I could try it. I mean, it's not bad to put a fundraiser on your video. I actually might experiment with that. Like, next video, if I put fundraiser on it, does YouTube, like, if I select a fundraiser and choose some charity that YouTube lets me choose, will it push my video more? That is something I'm very curious about. Well, people are saying he's a copyright abuser and ban evader who has said terrible things to people. Review Tech USA explains it pretty well, and so has the admin. So something's going on with him, where he's abusing. He's fake copyright. I mean, he's not fake. He's copyright striking channels. Yeah, that's a hack. Like, that's what I'm saying, Charlie. Wouldn't that be weird? If I put a fundraiser in every video, it pushes your video more. Wouldn't that just be strange? Like, if YouTube's bot worked that way, oh, this video has a fundraiser in it. Let's push it to more people. Would that just be weird if YouTube worked? But maybe it does. That's the one thing I notice is every video has a fundraiser on it. And all those videos, despite being a smaller channel than mine, are doing really, really well. And it's not like his thumbnails and titles or anything crazy. So I wonder if that fundraiser thing is a trick to get YouTube to push your channel more. That would be very interesting to find out. So I might actually try that. I might actually just, hey, Quantum TV, thank you so much for potentially giving me a tip to get my videos more views. And it's not a bad tip. Like, oh no, someone's gonna donate to a charity, maybe. Okay. Now, is that an exploitation? The fundraiser thing could be an exploitation in the algorithm. Now, it's not technically exploiting anything because the charity's listed right there. You can donate to it. But it's quite interesting if that's the trick. I'm gonna have to do some research on that and find out if YouTube's algorithm actually does push channels more that are using the default YouTube fundraiser. That would be very curious if YouTube's algorithm is pushing that more. Because if that's the case, I'll put a fundraiser on every video. I don't care. I'll support a charity and get my videos more views. Why not? Help grow the channel. All right. So in terms of Quantum TV, I obviously have to do more research. I don't know anything about it. If I think it's a big enough deal, I might make a video on it. Now, I know some people said, don't. He's going to copyright strike. Come at me, bro. Come at me. Seriously. You can't copyright. You can copyright strike someone for any reason. You're not going to win the strike upon appeal. You're just not. You're not going to. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to win it upon appeal. And I have a whole team for my MCN that will take care of it for me and talk directly to YouTube. So this is like the time where I am not even worried. If he wants to copyright strike my channel, he will be shot down. It will not stick. So I'm not worried about it. Just to be clear, I'm not actually worried about him copyright striking my channel. Unless I just straight re-upload his video, which I'm not. I don't even know if I'd watch any of his videos. I mean, maybe clips of his supposed apology or something. I have no idea. But, like, I'm not afraid of his strikes. Come at me. If you are afraid of being copyright striked for calling somebody out, you're wrong. Now, there is such a thing as defamation. That is a thing. But then that has to go to court. That's beyond YouTube. So YouTube lets you react to videos. I can play somebody else. Like, I can go like this. I can click on one of his videos. I can play it. And I can live react right now. That is not against the law and fair use. So, yeah, of course I can grab snips of his apology and talk about it. Snips of accusations and talk about it. Of course you can. That's what Drama Alert's all about, right? Of course you can. It is not against the law, and it's not against YouTube policy. Now, he might be striking people to try to protect his reputation, but the bottom line is he's just ruining his reputation even more by doing it. And he's not going to win in the end. In the end, don't be surprised if his channel gets taken down by YouTube. But I have to do more research. I have to see what's going on. Because obviously right now, I just see a channel that does some tech reviews. A lot about TVs. Looks like he really specializes in TVs. And how the PS5 and other systems run on certain TVs. Which is cool. That's fine. That's what his content is. I don't know that the content of his channel seems to be the controversy. It seems to be things he's saying to people behind the scenes, threats he's lobbying, and then copyright strikes. And that's what you guys told me in the chat. I obviously don't know. We did have a super chat pop in. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Thank you, G.I. Rocky 3. $9.99.
Blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.
All right, let me, that is, Dr. McGillicuddy's. Dr. Cherry over here. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate the real shot. First real shot of the night. Thought they got me already. Let me see here. He's also a fake TV. You mean a fake TV calibrator? What's a fake TV calibrator? Does he here's the thing. Does he claim he's certified at TV calibration? He doesn't have to be a certified person to make YouTube videos on how to calibrate your TVs. You don't have to be certified to do that. But if he claims he's certified and isn't, that's a bit of a problem. If he claims he's certified and he isn't, that's a problem. But anybody can make videos on how they calibrate their TVs and what they think are the best settings to calibrate a TV with. And the thing is, like, for me, what's weird for me is on this really expensive TV we bought for the set, like, there's different ways I calibrate it for gaming versus calibrating it for TV versus calibrating it for when we use it for our live shows. So, like, I have, like, 3 different saved profile calibrations I use on this TV for different things I'm doing with it. So there's not even, like, a one calibration for all use cases, right? Like, and obviously I'm unique because I use the, TV was primarily bought for the podcast and live streams. So again, kind of a unique use case here where I bought it specifically because I could calibrate it a certain way. But yeah, I still calibrate it totally different for TV. Sometimes totally different depending on if I'm watching live TV or if I'm watching like Netflix. Sometimes I calibrate it differently to get the best picture quality because it varies. Just like sometimes you want to calibrate it differently for 1080p content versus 4K content because a lot of live TV is still 1080p, unfortunately. So sometimes different settings will help make that pop and be a bit better than it does for, say, a 4K Netflix feed. So, echo. What do you mean echo? There can't be echo. There's only one mic. There literally can't be echo. I feel like you're yanking my chain. You're yanking. Yeah, you're yanking my chain. There's no echo. Literally, I can hear the whole stream back in my headset. That's why I don't. People ever wonder why I don't keep the headset on. It's because I can hear the entire stream. But that's how I also use it to make sure there's no issues. But keeping it on, it annoys me to hear my voice slightly delayed in my head. It just kind of throws me off. Makes me talk slower. It's Echo the Dolphin. You do the same thing at 7 different settings. Yeah, like that's just how it is. There's not really a perfect setting for every situation. Every situation, depending on what you're doing, is going to require different TV settings. Now, I'm not a professional. I don't have like certification for that stuff. This is just me messing around with TV settings my whole life. Like that's just how it is. There's different settings work for different content. Sometimes you want HDR, sometimes you don't. Sometimes the HDR in certain apps and certain use cases actually isn't that good and makes the picture quality worse to a point that the deeper blacks aren't worth it. So like there's a whole bunch of different ways to calibrate TVs. So I guess him not being certified, I guess doesn't really bother me unless he claims he's certified. Now, if someone claims they're certified and they're not, that's dumb. Like if I told you guys I am a certified computer programmer, well, I'm not. I'm a certified computer technician. I'm not. Have I done a lot of computer technician work? Yes. Have I done a lot of IT work? Absolutely. Do I have a lot of experience? Yes. Have I torn apart and put together a lot of electronics in my life? Yes. But I'm not certified in any of it. So I would never call myself a professional at it. I would just say I'm proficient enough for most of my own use cases and most jobs I've worked at. But I'm not certified. Let's see here. He went after other certified TV calibers because he said that they don't know what they're doing, even though they are certified on TV calibration. I'm not gonna get mad about that. I think, getting into that whole realm, as I said, you could be a certified TV calibrator that has all the proper tools and all the proper training on all the settings for all the different TVs. And how to best maximize each TV for different use cases. And yet, you could have what you determine to be the right settings, the best way to calibrate that TV, and someone else can look at your settings and look at the TV and go, I don't like that. That doesn't look right to me, and they like something else. That's the fun thing about TV calibration is, even when you're a professional at it, every person you calibrate that TV for might not like the way it looks, and they want it calibrated differently. So I'm not gonna get mad at him for being like, oh, they're calibrating their TVs, because maybe he prefers his TVs to be a certain way. And the way that he prefers it, makes him feel like the way that maybe some of the more official sources do it are wrong. So again, that's getting really technical, but I'm not gonna fault him for that. But like if he claims he's certified and he's not, that's obviously a problem. If he's stealing settings, I mean that is always, to me, that's always like a hard thing to prove. Like, is it stealing? Like when I post videos, am I stealing news because I'm talking about the news? Like if I was to make a video on how to properly calibrate this TV for, say, the Nintendo Switch, like, of course I would be looking up what other people do with it. While I mess around with it, look up what other people have done. Maybe I end up using some of their settings. Like, is that considered stealing because I did research? So I don't know. I don't know enough. But it's still one of those. I mean, yeah, you use other people's stuff because you researched it, like you're supposed to. If you didn't research it, yeah, I don't know. It's regurgitating news. Yes, I'm a news stealer. But like that's what I'm saying. Like it's part of research, right? You're gonna look at and use other people's stuff that have done the work before you, because that's just part of research. So I don't know. Cheers. Again, though, a lot of the controversy surrounding him doesn't appear to be about his content anyways. It appears to be about some other more nefarious things going on. I know, I'm sitting here like, oh, you're defending him. Well, one, you guys know on this channel that I don't attack other YouTubers, right? So I always look for the benefit of the doubt with how content's made. Now, again, I don't know this guy. I've never seen a single video of his. I've never seen a single video. All I see right now is his channel. You know, you guys, all I see right now is his channel and an apparent apology, which I assume is about the controversy. Or maybe it's about something he got wrong in his videos. I don't know. And then a whole bunch of videos on TVs and stuff. A few on a couple other things, but mostly about TVs. And the thing is, I having never watched his content, not knowing any background and history, all I can do is go, hey, look, if I was making a channel like this, I'd probably start by using other people's settings. Like, it's part of the research process. I would probably, I wouldn't say I'm certified in anything, I suppose. That's the one thing. If he's saying he's certified, again, I don't know if he does say he's certified, but let me check his about. Does it say in his about that he's certified? Go beyond reference standards. Master TV calibrator, AV journalist, and tech. Okay, that's fine. These can all be self-given titles, right? Like to be a tech reviewer, you just review tech. To be an AV journalist just means you've wrote about this stuff at a website before. And Master TV calibrator is a self-given title. There's no such thing as Master TV calibrator. There's certified TV calibrator. Master TV calibrator is not a thing. That's a made-up title. In short, I use my professional experience and brutal honesty to help you find the diamond in the rough. Once you find I go beyond reference standards from 30 years ago. Offering next level picture quality you've been searching for. The channel membership is for those who want to go beyond the veil. This part is only $5. You want someone to be straight with you, potentially saving you hundreds. So his little niche is, hey, come to me. I will help you get, I'll help you get the right TV for your use case and save you money, so you don't spend more money than you need to. So that's kind of it. That's kind of his niche, his genre. Huh. Interesting. The sighting ceiling was the initial complaints from Reddit a while ago. No one really cares now that he dug them. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it sounds like the things he maybe done since then is the worst part. Oh, it's about the content. You just haven't watched it yet. So, Bowsette, what I'm being told here, this is what I'm being told, is that it started out as some controversy with his content, which has now gotten worse. Like, not the content part, but what's happened since the accusations came out. So you got accused of some things, maybe even proven that he did things, and then he just started copyright striking and being a dick. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't know the full story. Again, I have to do my own research on this to see. You know, it might be worth talking about because YouTube channels that act this way, just like the Philip Mewson situation and others, and end up being stains on YouTube that make people not trust us and not want to watch us and swear off the whole thing and make all of us look bad. So it could be something that I talk about. But again, I haven't done the research. It's very obvious I haven't done the research. So from what I gathered from the chat, started out with some controversy about his content, which led to him copyright striking after people were calling him out, which also led to being a dick in some ways, just based on a quick Google search I did in private messages. Which the being a dick and the copyright strikes are significantly worse than what he did with his content. So that seems to be the main focus of people going after him at the moment. Which some people are afraid to because they don't want to be copyright strike because they don't have like an MCN or a way to protect themselves like some bigger channels have. Anyways, I'll have to do some research on it. We'll see what I come up with because I don't like to just watch people's videos on it because people's videos on it will contain opinions, which is fine. That's what my news videos contain opinions. So like when you're talking about another channel, it's really hard to just watch other people's videos on that channel because going in, that channel will already have a biased opinion before they even hit the record button. So everything they say is going to be jaded one way. I instead want to take a step back and look at the raw facts of everything and dig down to the source of all of this stuff and then come to my own conclusion. You know what I mean? That being said, you guys know that I call a YouTuber sometimes. I call that iSpeed, obviously. Game Explain back when Andres restart. Andres from Game Explain when I felt like he wasn't running the company well with the former employees. So you guys know I'm not afraid to call out channels if I feel like they're doing a disservice to the whole of the YouTube community. So we'll see. I've never heard of this guy, so yeah, I'll have to do some research. All right, that being said, let's get into what we were going to talk about today. I'm going to leave the Quantum TV thing open down here so I remember to look into it later and start taking some notes. Let's get into some stuff going on with Nintendo. So It says Nintendo facing troubled times. So this started with a single accusation posted by Stefan Totillo at Axiom, where an employee is using the NLRB, which is a union protection agency, to basically sue Nintendo and get them investigated for breaching a bunch of union rights, such as blocking the person from joining the union, and all this stuff. And he's claiming surveillance and other things that were taking place that are really vague and we don't really know the exact details of. Nintendo did respond to that officially by saying, we have no idea what these accusations are about. We plan to fully comply with the NLRB. The employee in question was let go for basically leaking information. They leaked information that was confidential. So they leaked game information, console information, whatever. They leaked information. That's Nintendo's claim on why they fired this employee. Had nothing to do with any of the complaints. He was fired because of that. And that led people to obviously go, hey, okay, like maybe this guy's just a disgruntled former employee trying to get some money. Let's give Nintendo the benefit of the doubt. Nintendo says he was fired for leaking information. Obviously, you would be fired for leaking information. We talked about it all the time. That's why people don't reveal sources on things, because you reveal your source, you get people fired. So, okay, Nintendo discovered an employee was leaking stuff, got fired. You want to believe Nintendo, believe Nintendo. You want to believe the NLRB investigation, believe the NLRB investigation. This then was followed up within like a day or two from Kotaku with an additional 11 employees, or at this case, former employees of Nintendo of America, accusing Nintendo of significant malpractice with their contract employees. None of it necessarily illegal, but a lot of it just super shitty way to treat human beings. And only one person was named. But still, a lot of the details were kind of vague. So now we have 12 people. Then we have this person, who is known to have formerly worked at Nintendo. This is a known former Nintendo employee. And this is what they said back on April 19th. They said this in reply to the original complaint against Nintendo from the NLRB. I'm no longer under NDA anymore, which you might wonder why they might have still been under NDA despite not working at Nintendo. It's an exit contract. I am under an NDA with my former employer until I'm 40 through an exit contract. So there are some things I can't talk about until I'm 40. Anyways, this person is no longer under an NDA. I'm happily to sing like a damn canary to anyone interested. And no, it's not just Nintendo of America. It's all Nintendo locations. Although their evidence for all Nintendo locations is, hey, Iwata was here and saw what was happening and didn't do anything. I don't know that that's really evidence of all locations, but at least there's evidence that, hey, even the head of Nintendo of Japan was aware and didn't do anything to change it. All right. Iwata himself frequently was there and saw this happening. We saw complaints from other locations constantly. The fact here is this: childhood memories of happy times do not negate that the associated companies do horrible things. Even if we loved these companies and dreamed of working for them, Nintendo is no different and never will be. It's sad, but true. When your own contractors, and again, all the complaints are about contract employees, so not like full-time Nintendo Treehouse employees like Kit and Krista. They have no complaints. We're talking about just contract temporary employees that sometimes end up working full-time and can work for Nintendo for years to the point that they get lifetime benefits. So, yeah, like, you know, it's just a contract, but some of the contract positions get pretty serious. All right. So, by the way, none of this has been a complaint about pay. That's the crazy thing. No one's complaining in general that they're not getting paid enough. So I guess credit to Nintendo for, I guess, properly paying employees. So it says, when your own contractors are so terrified of missing work that they're showing up with life-threatening conditions so they don't get blackballed from the game industry, that's an issue. When you literally take all of your FTEs, which are your full-time employees that are under contract, so contracted full-time employees, and divide them into 2 rooms and tell one room, if you're in here, you still have your job. Not an exaggeration. So this person must have been in that room, right? In that room where they were told, hey, you guys still have your job. While the other is told to pack up and leave because of budget cuts, which this could have happened near the Wii U 3DS era. when the majority of the employees in that room were about to retire with Nintendo of America benefits. That's an issue. Basically, they didn't work, they were basically let go just short of qualifying for lifetime benefits from so lifetime health insurance, lifetime retirement plans, all that. Like, they were just about to qualify for the retirement lifetime benefits from Nintendo, which are really cool that Nintendo has those because not every company does. And they let you go just short of being able to claim those benefits. Again, this isn't against the law. It's just a really shitty thing to do. That's an issue. And the company uses the fact they can easily blackball you from the game community as collateral to keep you from complaining. That's an issue. So this is where the original complaint about threats comes from, where Nintendo might be saying, hey, you don't listen to us, you complain about this, you complain about that, you talk out, you don't sign this exit contract, we'll make sure you never get a job again in this industry. Like, that is something that basically is being said that Nintendo's doing. Nintendo of America, specifically. And when their ex-contractors are too scared to talk, that's a fucking issue. The end. So this is a known former employee at Nintendo. I believe they were a 3D artist. Doesn't say at the moment, but it used to have Nintendo on here, and they were a 3D artist. So it's interesting. I've taught for a while that Nintendo is not our friends. Anyone who thinks Nintendo is our friend is blinding themselves with company loyalty, which you should never be loyal to a company. I use Apple iPhone products, but I also have used Android. I use Mac computers. I also use PCs. I've been using the Panasonic Lumix line of cameras. I'm about to switch to a Sony. I play a Switch, but I own an Xbox, own a PlayStation 5, own a gaming PC. Wouldn't mind owning the Steam Deck. Like, there's no company loyalty is hard for me to ever justify for the sole reason that a lot of times company loyalty comes along with defending a company no matter the cost. Which means the company can do no wrong. Apple has it, like, Apple's got some very staunch people that will say Apple doesn't do anything wrong. Everything Apple does is great. They don't make any mistakes. They've never treated anyone bad. Oh, that story out there? Oh, that's not true. The right to repair stuff? None of that's true. Apple's perfect. Of course they're not perfect. They're a greedy, for-profit company. So is Nintendo. So is Sony. So is Samsung. So is Xbox. Microsoft. All these for-profit companies are greedy companies. At the end of the day, the bottom line, they're all maximizing revenue. And they're going to do it within any means, usually legally, that they can. So all the allegations, besides the potential anti-union stuff, are not illegal, what Nintendo is doing. They're just, some would say, inhumane. Maybe that's a bit too far. Some would say it's just morally wrong, right? It's more of a moral thing. Like, it's just morally wrong to do what they're doing. Not legally wrong, which shows a difference. And some people have obviously looked at these allegations from now, 12, 13, 14 employees, and they go, hey, I don't hear any sexual assault in there. At least they're not Activision Blizzard. At least they're not Ubisoft. And yeah, if you want to rank like the severity of the things that have come out in this industry, sure. That's at the top, right? Activision Blizzard, the worst. Ubisoft, underneath that. Nintendo's somewhere below that. But all of it's bad. It being a supposed lesser moral evil thing doesn't make it good. You can't diminish it by just saying other companies did worse things. Sure. And the Nazis murdered a bunch of Jews. What's your point? Like, if we're going to start... I just talked earlier about a 10-year-old being murdered in my hometown. That's significantly worse than any of this stuff, besides maybe the suicide thing that happened at Activision Blizzard. That's obviously a very serious thing. But, like, all this stuff being serious, there's always levels that are worse. You can't talk about, oh, well, at least they're not this, at least they're not that. Just, did they do something bad? Yes. Now, you can say it's all allegations, but there's a hell of a lot of smoke right now. Now, again, most of these allegations are not illegal, which means nothing's going to happen. Basically, there needs to be enough public backlash for Nintendo of America to change their policies. It's interesting, too, because I read an interview earlier today with a former Nintendo employee of Nintendo of Japan who worked at EAD of Nintendo, so their software development side in Japan. And he talked about glowingly how he loved his time at Nintendo. But like when you read the interview, and I can't remember where this interview was at. It's from a few years ago. You think Nintendo doesn't crunch? Oh, they crunch. He talks about it in the interview. He just doesn't call it crunch. Oh yeah, one time Miyamoto got back to the studio late when we were all about to leave, because he had business meetings all day, and he made us all stay till 2 a.m. because he had an idea. Does that sound good? We're all about to leave and check out for the day. Miyamoto walks in and says, hey, I have an idea. And everyone is stuck there till 2 a.m. Now, look, the employee here didn't complain about it in this case. Who's going to say no to Miyamoto? This is your idol. This is your icon. This is your industry god. If he walks in and says, hey, don't go home, I have an idea, and you're there till 2 a.m. working all that overtime, that's crunch. Now, what I will say, and this is why that employee didn't complain, Japan is very different culturally. In Japan, you're not going to hear... In Japan, there are not complaints about working overtime. There are not complaints that exist about crunch. Japan's culture, and this is also where, man, that's such a shitty thing for Miyamoto to do. But also, Miyamoto grew up in this culture. And the culture is, you work until the job is done. That's the culture. You work until the job is done. You have a job, you do it till it's done. And that's one reason why Japan is very efficient in a lot of ways. That's also probably one reason why Japan has other cultural differences, like public brothels and everything, because people need to stress relieve after maybe possibly working 18-hour days. They need to pop on over to the old school Nintendo Love Hotel and relieve a little bit with some Princess Peach. I mean, come on. They just put in an 18-hour day at the big end. They got to relieve them. I'm just saying that, it's a very culturally different place. So you rarely hear of complaints. Like, the complaints that came from employees at Konami were very rare, which tells you what Konami was doing was even extreme for Japan. Konami had complaints about overworking people and underpaying, and that means what Konami was doing was extreme, even compared to what Nintendo does. Like, extreme, if people are complaining. So, sure, that stuff has been normalized, basically, in Japan. Does it make it okay? I don't know. There's that whole work-life balance and what's... Japan seems to produce a lot of workaholics, and there's a reason for it, because that's the culture they breed. So this employee was actually praising Nintendo and talking about how much he loved his time working there. Of course, later in the interview, he does mention how he has more free time now, and he likes that. So it's kind of like, hey, it was worth it for the 10 years, and now I'm a veteran, got better job, better opportunities, and I don't have to work as much. But again, that's a cultural thing. In the United States, we call that crunch, we call it overtime. All of us have experienced at various jobs crunching overtime and overworking, and so it is normalized even here in the U.S. It's also normalized that we're supposed to get compensated generously for working crunch and overtime. Unfortunately, contract employees don't typically get compensated for overworking. That's the unfortunate thing, is contract employees are almost like salaried employees, where you agree to a set amount of money, and that's all you get no matter how much you work. And the benefit is, well, even if you don't work as much, you get the same money. Yeah, but oftentimes you're working more. So anyways, that's neither here nor there. Again, it's really hard to really dive deep into the culture at Nintendo of Japan because, again, there hasn't been any complaints about it. It's just, you watch former employee interviews and you hear these stories like Miyamoto making a mistake till 2 a.m. and you go, man, that don't sound good. But then the employee's not complaining about it. So, like, how am I supposed to feel? Like, that sounds really shitty what Miyamoto did, but also, you thought it was cool. So what am I don't know how I'm supposed to react to that. Because it sounds bad, but then the employee's not mad about it. So, it's culture. That's a culture thing. But the fact that Iwata was aware of things like remember when Iwata was being praised for like, oh man, Nintendo's doing bad, and even the CEO cut his own salary so he wouldn't have to fire employees. So they didn't fire employees. According to the accusations, they very much did fire employees due to budget cuts. So who's telling the truth? No, Iwata might not have supervised those cuts, but the budget cuts start with Japan. So, I don't know. This is one of those situations where all I could say out of all the accusations is Nintendo isn't a saint. Nintendo is a for-profit, greedy business like everybody else, and they're going to do some pretty crappy things behind the scenes. Like every other for-profit company. Heck, even some non-profit companies, even some charities. Bottom line is, if there's money to be made, something shitty's probably happening somewhere. And that's the unfortunate truth. All these companies have skeletons in their closets, even if you haven't heard about it. And Nintendo's are coming out. It is nice to hear that Nintendo skeletons aren't sexual harassment and some of the worst crap that's happened in this industry. But it's still crap. It's still bad. It still shouldn't happen. We still wish that people would just be treated better. But we'll see if anything happens, if anything changes, if the public pressure increases. It is just nice to have the stories come out. There's been enough former employees at this point that there's enough smoke to think that some of this stuff has to be true. Some of it has to be true. Nintendo isn't even bothering to deny all these other allegations. So, they denied the original complaint. Maybe that original complaint's bogus. I have no idea. But they're not denying all these other ones. So, maybe there's enough public pressure that Nintendo's going to change their policies. Unfortunately, we would probably never find out if they do change their policies because they're never going to tell us. So, they basically it sounds like Nintendo relies on people being Nintendo fans and always wanting to work at Nintendo. And then they take advantage of those people until they become untenable or too costly. And then they remove them for new people. Smart business, shitty human practices. I get why they do it, still shitty human practices. So, as someone who is trained under the most stricter Japanese martial arts, I definitely understand the culture expectancy that oftentimes comes from those that are students. Yeah, that's the thing. It's a culture thing, so it's hard for me to say a lot about the Nintendo Japan stuff. It seems pretty normal at all companies in Japan. And then when you do hear complaints, it's usually because they took it too far. Like Konami clearly took it too far. So you believe the accuser, says Doggy. I thought the principle was the presumption of innocence. No, Doggy. What you're talking about is the law. The law is innocent until proven guilty. The court of public opinion does not work like the law. The court of public opinion is, what are your opinions? My opinion is that there's too much smoke for some of it not to be true. I don't know what, but there's too much smoke. Too many former contract employees, confirmed contract employees, speaking up for all of it to be fake. And I say this not because, give Nintendo the benefit of the doubt. Every other company that has a dozen plus employee complaints about the same things has been proven to be true. History tells you when there's this many complaints, there is some truth to it. So, do I believe everything being accused? No. I even mentioned on this person complaining that they thought it was a company-wide issue, right? Because Iwata was aware of it and didn't do anything. It's kind of like, that doesn't mean that it's a problem in Europe. It doesn't mean it's a problem in Japan, right? Like, it seems presumptuous that just because that person knows that Iwata was aware of it, that the whole company, is guilty of it. Like, I noted that seems more like an agenda-based statement. Like I'm pissed at Nintendo, and don't just think it's not the whole company because Iwata knew. Okay, maybe Iwata did know, but that doesn't necessarily mean the whole company behaved that way. Especially when all of the accusations are about Nintendo of America. We don't have accusations about Nintendo of Europe. We don't have accusations about Nintendo of Japan. We have accusations strictly about Nintendo of America. And I think it would be interesting, and I think this could shed some light on this, is if one of these podcasts that Reggie Fils-Aimé goes on, if someone would just ask him about it. Now, it's possible he never knew, but I mean, if Iwata's walking around and knew, I'm sure Reggie Fils-Aimé had to know. So, it would be interesting if somebody would ask Reggie about it and what he would say. Because nothing we're talking about here is illegal. So he's not going to face any legal repercussions if he says something or he admits to knowing. He's not going to, none of this stuff's illegal, so he's not going to get in trouble. But it is curious if somebody will ask Reggie about it one of these appearances that he goes on. And just be like, "Hey, like what's up with these employee accusations at Nintendo of America? A lot of them seem to stem from when you were running Nintendo of America. What's going on? Like, did you know about this stuff? Were these things you were actively trying to fix, but it just nothing was working? Were there actually budget cuts? Because a lot of these accusations stem from the Iwata days, and literally Reggie Fils-Aimé was there longer than Iwata because Iwata died, unfortunately. Rest in peace, buddy. So it's one of those situations that it would be cool. It would be cool just to see if Reggie would be willing to talk about that stuff. He might not be willing to talk about it. He might be, heck, he might be under NDA himself. Like if anyone's under NDA, Reggie's under NDA. Like Reggie was literally the president of the. You don't think the fat exit contract he signed with a huge severance package and likely lifetime health benefits and stuff. You don't think Reggie signed an NDA when he left Nintendo? Of course, he signed an NDA when he left Nintendo. So it might be something he can't even talk about. He literally, you could ask him the question and he might go, it's just not something I can respond to for legal purposes. Okay, well, there you go, NDA. So it could be something he can't even talk about anyways, but it would be cool just to see someone ask him and get an official response on the record from him. So again, I'm not presuming that all of the allegations are true. I am presuming that there's too much smoke for some of it not to be true. So something isn't quite right at Nintendo of America with their contract employees, specifically at their service centers, customer service, game testing, the typical positions that they do contracts with. There's obviously something just not morally right going on. Not legally, but not morally right going on. Which isn't a surprise. I'm honestly not surprised. Is anyone surprised? Or like when these allegations are now out there about Nintendo treating their contract employees at their service centers and their QA testing teams at Nintendo of America, and we hear that they're just trying to threaten them not to say anything or get blackballed, mass putting people in a room and firing some of them short of their benefits. Like, does any of this bother people? Like, does this surprise you? Because by the way, what we're hearing about from Nintendo is actually really common. all over the United States. A lot of businesses do this. Contract employees are considered disposable. This is how a lot of companies operate. So, I'm putting out there, this is pretty normal out there, unfortunately. Why accept such a contract? You apply for a job. You're fresh out of college. You see Nintendo's hiring. You love Nintendo. You've been watching Nintendo YouTubers playing Nintendo games for a long time. Huge fan. Man, I've always wanted to work at Nintendo. And Nintendo's got this sweet job, and I can make 60, 70, 80K a year doing it. Sounds awesome. Even though out in Redmond, Washington, that's actually not that much money, but it's fine. It sounds like a lot, especially coming right out of college. Cool. Let me go apply for this job. They interviewed me. They're gonna hire me. They're offering me health benefits full time. You know, I'm on a 3-month contract that gets extended to a 6-month contract, gets extended to a year, gets extended another year, gets extended another year. Oh man, I remember something they told me about, like if I put in like 10 years of work at Nintendo, I get lifetime health insurance benefits and a lifetime 401k package. That's awesome. Like I could work at my favorite, so I'm gonna at least work here for 10 years and get my lifetime insurance, and then maybe I move on. I don't know, but I want to put in my time to get that. I'm working at my favorite company. I'm getting to QA test video games. Like I get to play Breath of the Wild 2 before Breath of the Wild 2 is even revealed to the public. I get to play video games before they come out from my favorite video game company in the world. Hot damn! That sounds great. That sounds amazing. You're getting paid decent, full benefits. And hey, look, if you work here long enough, you can get lifetime benefits. And that's why you get hired, because it sounds great. Then you get there, you get hired. A few months in, you find out other employees are treating you like shit. A year later, you know, maybe you're thinking about not renewing your contract or whatever. They go, hey, we're going to put you, or you worked there for 9 years. You're 9.5 years in. You're about to hit your, 6 months away from hitting your 10-year tenure. Oh, let me just slam all you guys in a room. Oh, you guys have been working here a long time. Thank you so much for your services. By the way, all of you are fired. I mean, I'm sure they didn't just go, all of you are fired, but in, a lot more verbiage, all of you are fired. When all of you were just that short. I put in 9.5 years. Again, this is just a random number I picked. I have no idea how long it is. Bye-bye. Oh, all you other people that only been working here 3-6 months, you're still fine. Now, again, not all the jobs are obviously 60 to 80K out of college. Give an example. The lowest job they hire for in Redmond, Washington, I think was $16. This was for customer service. So answering phone calls when people call in. So if you do that times 40 hours a week, times 52 weeks, that's $33,000 a year. So they have lower paying positions, to be clear. The 60 to 80K sounds great, but they have lower paying positions. Specifically at their call centers. So, anyways, and apparently they're also getting treated like shit. So now again, I don't know. I don't work at Nintendo, but it's easy to see how they can get people to work there when everything sounds nice on the surface. Plus, you get to work at your favorite company, and then you get there, and then you realize it ain't so great. The money maybe isn't worth the stress, the constant threats, the NDAs, the long hours. So, and of course, there's always a new batch of college graduates ready to work at Nintendo. This reminds me of the Cyberpunk. There was always a new batch of fresh employees ready to work at CD Projekt Red, right out of college. Cheap, fresh blood. Let the veterans go, hire the cheap guys. and you end up with Cyberpunk 2077. So it happens when you don't value your skilled employees, because you can get other ones to do the job but do it worse for cheap. And then you crunch the hell out of these people that don't have experience. Hey, we got Clin3N037. Ba-bam. Thank you, Clin3N037. $5. Yeah. $5. Oh, thank you so much, buddy, for the $5. God, I gotta do another one of those stupid fire, flaming hot Mountain Dew shots. Oh my God. This stuff is gross. Anyways. Again, some of the allegations, I think there's enough now and enough people coming out that some of it's true, but I don't know how much of it's true. Most of it's not against the law. Most of it's just typical for-profit business stuff, which is unfortunate. Just part of capitalism. It sucks. People get taken advantage of. Capitalism. It's fun, isn't it? For-profit businesses. Always fun. Cheers. God, it tastes so good. Oh my God. Going down, it tastes so... The immediate... Ah! Oh my God. That second one was worse than the first because it's getting warmer. It's definitely worse when it's warmer. Yeah, it's just like an unfortunate... I don't know that anything's going to change. Most of these accusations are so typical. I've seen them. I've seen them at contract jobs I have worked where I was treated like shit. This is just how it goes. It's very unfortunate, but it's just part of the capitalist society we're in. The other thing I want to talk about, Switch remains the number one in the US. So basically, Nintendo Switch, Kirby and the Forgotten Land was number 3 for the sales charts on the NPD last month. Good for Kirby. Now, just physical, we have no idea how much higher it could have been with digital sales. So there's that. Still a really, really good, one of the best debuts for Kirby. So that's really good on the NPD. And the Switch was the number 1 selling platform yet again. On the NPD reports. The number 1 selling platform for the month of March in the United States. Pretty cool. Switch is continuing to kill it. So it's kind of like, hey, Nintendo might be facing a lot of accusations and, doing some shady, morally gray stuff. But, hey, they're making lots of money, right? So everything's coming up roses for Nintendo in the end, I suppose, as they say. Kind of weird, right? Bad news, positive news. But that positive news is the corporate greed, right? So, why do we care so much about the Switch selling so well? I don't know. We just do. It's just fun. Switch is... Hey, guys, guess what? Switch is still the number 1 video game platform in the world. Yay! Actually, technically, phones and tablets are the number 1 video game platforms in the world, followed by PC, followed by Switch. If we want to be technical, but for consoles, Switch is the number 1 platform in the world and is still number 1. So, that's cool. So there you go. Pretty cool. So that's all I got. That's all I got for you today. So now it's Q&A time. Ask whatever questions you want. I'm going to check my phone. I'm sure Yulia texted me at some point. Oh, maybe she didn't. I think she's deep doing college work right now, so. Oh, that's my installer. We're getting DirecTV installed. So they were texting me 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 4/27. Okay, Wednesday. Yeah, I'll be here. All right. Let's see. In April and May is losing steam. Maybe. Nintendo Switch Sports comes out this month. So, what would Nintendo have done had the Switch not sold well? Make another system. Nintendo had enough money in the bank to have failing systems for like 50 years. They would have just made another system. What they would have made, who knows? Maybe they would have game streaming. I have no idea. Are you getting that Task Force Baseball itch with MLB The Show on Switch? Yes, I'm just filling my Task Force quota. Why do you... I have not even considered downloading Task Force Baseball. I've been playing MLB The Show instead. So... Glad I only have a week left of school this semester. I also dropped my summer class due to my summer camp job. Nice. I brought this up before, I know, and I'm sorry to be a pest. Is there any news on No Man's Sky for Switch? No new news. The last news is the only news. Summertime. I think we'll hear news in the summertime. I think there's going to be a lot of news in the summertime. Just waiting on your guys' questions. By the way, for Super Chats, you can request Nintendo music for me to play in the background as well. So there's that as well. I always forget to mention that. That's something that I'm almost always willing to do. Just can't be Pokemon music because the Pokemon company likes copyright striking all that stuff for some reason. Even though I can like put gameplay up and they don't get mad about that. It's whatever. Do I like the Snes Mini? I don't own one, so I can't tell you. I mean, I think it's fine, especially for a collector's item. It's great as a collector's item. I'm sure it's fine otherwise. I have no idea. I don't own one. So I can't talk about the emulation. I can't really talk about anything that's, great. You have both minis. I do have the Snes Mini in my house, but it's not mine. It's Eric's. My kids play it more than I do. But again, you guys know my story with classic games. I don't really play a lot of games I've already played and beat in the past. So, I don't really play it that much. My kids play it once in a while. And the SNES one seems to work fine. My kids still aren't used to what save states are, but that's all right. Oh, Charles. Charles. All right, man. We got a bit of a catty chat today. Just kidding. Some people are getting really tired of some of the stuff we're talking about. I'm like, I don't know what. You know what's funny when I read the chat sometimes? I say, can we please move on? What are people so bothered by? I always wonder, what are people so bothered by with certain conversations? So we were talking about some allegations with Nintendo employees, or former Nintendo employees. Why does that bother you? What's the problem? Or when people get bothered. There was one person who said, "Can we please move on?" When I was talking about the 10-year-old who was murdered, and it's like, what if I just want to talk about this the whole stream? Leave me alone. I don't know. I find it weird when people seem to get annoyed at what the conversation is. Did you read the title? The title of the stream, half the stream was supposed to be about that. So, yeah, the Octo expansion. Yep, they did add the Octo expansion. I didn't really cover it because I don't think it's a big deal. I think if you care about the Octo expansion, you already have the Octo expansion. But, I mean, it's nice to have it there, I guess. All right, important person. What's more important? Hey, you know what I wanted to do tonight, though? I did want to take some calls. Since we didn't have a stream on Friday due to the Bucks playoff game, I wanted to do a bonus call stream today. So if anyone wants to call in and talk about something, all you gotta do is join our Discord server, message me on Discord. I do require that you have headphones. Tell me what you would like to talk about, and I will call you directly on Discord. And you can join the stream right now and ask me your questions, have a little conversation with me, whatever the case might be. So we are taking calls. The topics can be pretty much anything. I will obviously determine, if you bring me something I'm not going to talk about. If it's political or religious, definitely won't be talking about it. I'm surprised no one's brought up like the fact that Elon bought Twitter. That was like one of the biggest like stories in the world today. But who knows? Maybe I spoke too soon and someone's going to bring it up in a call in. Maybe I'll do that sometime, but all mine would just be a task sports joke. Hey, tax sports joke's fine with me. If you rebranded into Informer Prime, maybe Prime Informer. Would you split off into 3 sub-channels like Nintendo Prime, PlayStation Prime, Xbox Prime? No, it'd just be Prime Informer. No thanks. Multiple channels, no thanks. Too hard. Too hard to do. Too hard to do. Yes, Elon bought Twitter. It's been approved. A cool $44 billion. And he plans to take the company private. Yep. He was attempting to buy it, and then like last week, Twitter was like, "Oh, we'll never sell. We're gonna put a poison pill in, blah blah blah." And now, a week later, they're singing a different tune, and have decided to sell. So, hey, maybe they just want to cash out and be rich for the rest of their lives, What's NRJ like Nathaniel Rumpeljack's 85? What's 85 have to do with anything? I go to Hogue Law Virtual the Galley for Elon Musk Twitter craziness. It helps having it exposed by a lawyer. What do they have to say about it? I didn't watch Virtual Legality's video today. I watch their videos sometimes. Let me let's see. I'm sure they got a video. Elon Musk wins. So like what were you hoping to get explained from it? Like he's buying it. I guess like what happens next, is that what you're hoping? Like how it all goes down? What the legal ramifications are of it, I guess maybe that's what you get from that video. Because he does a good job of not really putting his opinion into things. He just explains everything from a legal perspective. NRG, RGT80. Oh my god. No thanks on the RGT85 stuff. Love the guy, but Nintendo Prime U Deluxe. My 8-year-old nephew broke his Switch Lite after losing in Fortnite, but he didn't just throw it. He bit it. It was like a dog. Our dog broke the screen of our tablet because he bit it. To be fair, he wasn't trying to chew the tablet. He was trying to chew the cover we have for it, which was magnetic, but had like this really soft material on it. And he thought that soft material felt good in his mouth. So he started chomping on it when we fell asleep, and he broke the screen. And of course, when he broke the screen, he ran away because he probably shocked himself or something. But yeah, I gotta get that screen replaced. It's like $100, but I just haven't done it yet. Kind of just explained it. Yeah, I mean that's what he does. I mean it happened. It went through. It's not gonna be instant. It's gonna take a bit. A lot of legal loopholes and stuff to go through. But it went. It's been approved. So it's probably gonna go down here. Maybe at the end of the year or something. Again, it's not like an instant. It's not like today he owns Twitter. Not yet, but he will eventually. It's now, let me see. Poison pill is interesting. Yeah, but then they didn't do it, so what are you gonna do? Oh yeah, I'm gonna mention. For $25, I shotgun a beer. Which will be really interesting since I don't have my keys down here, so I gotta stab it with a pen or something. Yeah. poison pill. So what Twitter said last week is that they would not sell. Like when the initial offer from Elon Musk came in, the Twitter's board came out and said, we're not going to sell. And we're going to put a poison pill where if Elon gets where Elon Musk could not own more than like 14.9% of the company. And there's a legal reason for why owning 15% gives him a lot of power at Twitter. But he would only be allowed to own 14.9%, and that was like the poison pill. Like he would be capped. So it would prevent him from being able to take over Twitter. That's what they said last week. And it went from that to now, hey, we agree. You can just buy us. We're good. Basically, they had a meeting with Elon this week, and he somehow convinced him to sell. What was said in that meeting, we'll probably never know. But he somehow convinced the board to sell the company to him. So, how the sale's gonna go down, like how all the T's are gonna be crossed and the I's be dotted, all of the legalese that's gonna lead to him owning it is gonna take some time. As I said, it's not like he just goes, grabs the cash, drops it at their front door. I own you now. Not how it works. There's a lot of stuff to go through when you're buying out a public company, which has happened. This isn't the first time it's happened. This is the largest public company buyout, I think, in like 15 years, 20 years. It's been a while since we've had one this big, but it has happened before. And it probably will go through. Like, there's not really anything that's probably going to block it. It's just a matter of the legalese and all of the paperwork, all of the individual shareholders involved in it. There's just a lot of stuff to work through before he finally owns it. Should be completed by the end of this year, barring any setbacks. But basically they've agreed, and now from that point they got to go through all the legal processes to transfer the company to him, and that's just going to take a while to do. It's not instant. It's kind of like Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard, but like it's a pending agreement until it gets approved and goes through all the legal process, and then they own it at some point next year. So it's kind of like the same thing here. He will eventually own Twitter, and there really shouldn't be anything blocking it, because they can't even argue. You can't even argue monopoly status because he doesn't own any other social network. So like the only thing that people can cling to hope that, oh man, they won't let Elon buy it because it creates a monopoly. It doesn't. It's like not even remotely close to a monopoly. What's he own? A car company, a space company, and now a social media. Like that, they're not even related fields. So like it's not a monopoly. But yeah, it probably won't get blocked legally. So it's just going to be a lot of paperwork and red tape and lawyer crap. But yeah, at this point next year, Elon Musk will own Twitter. What happens from that point moving forward? Nobody knows. It'll be a private company, just like Tesla is, just like SpaceX. And what happens is, I guess, whatever Elon wants to happen. He's talked heavily about free speech. He's talked heavily about, whatever that means. Obviously, some people are really, really scared that means he's going to unban a certain former president. Be that as it may, I have no idea. I personally don't think it really matters. My take is an echo chamber is an echo chamber for a reason. The people that support what he says and the weird things that he says still support him and still support the weird things that he says. Doesn't really matter if he's on Twitter or not. Those people still exist. I don't think kicking him off Twitter really slowed down his message. He's still literally appearing on CNN, Fox News, and all these places all the damn time. I literally see his face everywhere. Still, to this day, he pops up everywhere. Don't think it really matters. All the people that follow him on Twitter are his echo chamber. So, I personally don't think it matters. But I always go, if you don't like and somebody says just block him. Oh my gosh, the former president's back on Twitter. Okay, block his account. And then it's like he's not even here. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why we can't just block people we don't want to listen to. I just don't get it. I know it's a principle thing. I just don't get it. So like there's all this worry about that, and then he talked about how everybody who's a person should be able to get verified. It shouldn't be based on how many followers you have. It should be based on your ability to prove you are who you are. And you can have any account. Like I have multiple Twitter accounts. And you can have all these accounts. Like I can have the Nintendo Prime account, the Nate Chance account, and the Operation Moonfall account. I can have multiple Twitter accounts, but all of those accounts will be linked back to the same person, and people will be able to look at those Twitter accounts and tell who the person is that owns that Twitter account. What's very interesting about that is it basically does something that people are deathly afraid of if he actually makes this change. It makes you accountable for the things you say. You won't be able to hide behind being anonymous anymore. Isn't that interesting? Not being able to hide behind alt accounts and anonymity anymore. Very interesting. Doesn't bother me. I don't hide behind it. I don't hide behind that stuff. But it's very interesting, isn't it? That's a change he wants to make. We'll see how well that goes through if that ever happens. Another change he wants to make is he wants to do something about spam bots, and he thinks the best way to deal with spam bots, which you all know what it is, just type the word "I got hacked" on Twitter and watch the responses you get. All the bot responses. Oh, this person helped me out on WhatsApp, or this. It's all fake. It's all bots. He says, or he thinks, the best way to combat bots is to make Twitter's code base open source. Very interesting, right? He wants to open source the platform. So that can allow for user moderation tools to exist. Just like we have ad block for like Chrome and stuff and Firefox. For user tools to be created that can deal with spam. I think that's a very ambitious. I think that's very ambitious. Now, these are just what he says are his preliminary plans. That's very ambitious. Generally, open source is usually considered a good thing. But obviously, Twitter wasn't built to be open source. So, we'll see. Open source means hackers. You realize non-open source also means hackers. Hackers don't give a shit if it's open source or not. It's not going to be open source anytime soon because Twitter wasn't built to be open source. It's going to take a lot of re-engineering to make it open source because it wasn't built to be open source. You need, when you make something open source, you need to have it built to be open source. But it's funny, it'd be like, open source means hackers. Okay, so how many hackers? So like how many millions and millions of people use Chrome and are worrying about hackers? Did you know the API for YouTube is open source? Like, you can be open source and not worry about hackers. Open source doesn't mean you're any more eligible for hackers than anything else. That's more of a common misconception that being open source makes you more susceptible. It doesn't. But do we have any calls on? No, we don't have any calls on Discord. Yeah, Chromium is basically like almost all the browsers out there. It's crazy. Not Firefox yet, though. They're still their own thing. The internet has your identity somewhere. I don't use Twitter for in real life purposes. Yeah, basically, it's interesting that it sounds like he wants to make Twitter accounts actually be accountable. To me, it's not a problem. I'm accountable for all my tweets, but a lot of people aren't. So it'll be very interesting to see what Twitter's like if he makes the change that we all have to be verified, and we can verify ourselves easily. But that means that everything's trackable back to us, which means you can't make alt accounts and be anonymous and shit talk and say stupid, asinine bullshit without people being able to track it back to who you are. I find that to be a really fascinating change that I support because I hate the bullshit people say when they can be anonymous. I always say, if we got rid of the anonymity of comment sections and people actually had to have those comments tied back to them as a person, that people can look at it and go, oh, Charles Trudell, I don't know if that's your real name, but let's say that is your real name, and you have an account called Nintendo Blathers on YouTube, and you're commenting, but I can click on that account and see that it's tied to Charles Trudell. Everything you would then say on YouTube would be accountable to you as a person. I think that's kind of cool. A lot of people won't, because a lot of people want to be anonymous because they want to say shit without any repercussions. They don't want employers looking at comments they said and be like, "Oh, we can't hire you because you're a racist." Okay, like, you know, it's going to be pretty interesting if that change even happens. So, and if he requires it, of course. The big thing is, if he never requires you to verify, then it doesn't really matter. But opening verifications to more people, I think, is good. Like, everyone wants that blue check mark, but now making it so anybody can get it would be cool. He didn't say that he would require it, by the way, and that's kind of the fear people have. What if he requires it? Oh, are you saying stupid shit that you shouldn't fucking be saying? I always go, if you're worried about losing your anonymity on Twitter, what the fuck are you saying that you're so scared for it to be tied to you as a person? What stupid shit are you spewing that you're actually worried? Maybe reevaluate how you talk when you think no one knows who you are. Maybe you shouldn't say some of the stupid shit you're saying. If you won't say it if people know who you are, then you just shouldn't say it. Just keep that in the back of your mind. I've kept that in the back of my mind forever when I'm on the internet. If it's something I wouldn't say to you in real life, I'm just not going to say it. That's how I run things. But the possible rebranding came up earlier. Prime Informer. Will you ever be on Spawncast? I've been on Spawncast before. You know those t-shirts they do like every 100 episodes or whatever? I'm on the t-shirt. I've been on Spawncast before. Will I ever be on the Spawncast again is probably a better question, and that I don't know. I don't ask to be on podcasts. So because I don't ask, probably not. I'm sure I don't think John would be like, "Oh, you can't ever come on." Like, dude, I've had RGT on my channel. You know, Player Essence was on my channel not too long ago. Like, you know, I used to be good friends with Dreamcast guy. I think he got agitated at something I said once when I disagreed with him, but if you can't get past a disagreement, then I don't know. That just seems kind of petty. But yeah, I get along with everyone on that, like all the default people on Spawncast. I don't have no problem with any of them. So whether or not John would want to have me on, I have no idea. I haven't bothered to ask to come on in a long time. So be one of those, if I ask to come on and he says no, cool. Chances are I just think he won't respond to me. At this point, I haven't talked to John in a long time. So I think if I DM'd him and asked to be on the podcast, he probably wouldn't even say anything. But I could be wrong. Maybe he would. I'm being awful presumptuous in saying he would not respond. I mean, he still follows me on Twitter. We still have direct contact messages with each other. So we'll see. I guess I can always ask later. When I know I'm gonna have a free Saturday night, maybe I'll ask. This upcoming Saturday I got plans, but but do I think he'll ever ask me to come back on? Probably not. But I don't know that he really asks people to come on, you know? Usually people ask him to come on. I'm sure he gets a ton of requests to go on the Spawncast too from a ton of people. But I've been on it twice, so anyways. see here. Have this channel help me learn real life shit and have deep Yeah, I mean, I don't dive into that stuff all the time, but I know some people do appreciate that. I'm not afraid to talk about real shit sometimes. Do you think the VMU and the Dreamcast controller was a partial inspiration for the Switch? No. There's been screens and controllers since then too. No. Nope. Absolutely not. The inspiration for Switch. And some people even say Wii U. I don't think Wii U is the inspiration either. The inspiration for Switch is pretty fucking simple. Hey, we cannot make enough games to support 2 platforms, but we can support 1. So let's focus on handheld, since that's our best-selling system, but find a way to make the handheld also a home console. And there's your inspiration. I don't think there's really anything before it that really inspired it. It was literally as simple as Nintendo realizing we don't make enough games to support 2 systems. We think if we just make 1 combined system, we can have enough games. How do we do that? Well, let's focus on the thing that sells best, handheld. Find a way to make it a home console so we can argue it's a home console that you can take on the go. Switch. Literally think it was that simple when Iwata was conceptualizing it. Don't think it had anything to do with the Dreamcast or even the Wii U. Not even the Wii U off TV play. I don't think that either one of those had really anything to do with it. I know it's easy to say, especially for Wii U, that it did. I don't really think it did. I think Switch was already being conceptualized before Wii U came out. I think Switch was originally going to be the 3DS successor. I think it was already in planning stages when Wii U came out. So I don't think Wii U really had much to do with it. I mean, think about this. The Switch, and from what we've heard from interviews, the Switch had its initial planning phases starting in 2013. Wii U came out November of 2012. Don't really think Wii U had much to do with it. Just my thought, anyways. I'm excited for boobs, and I don't really care about boobs. The only tits I care about are my fiance's, and they're fantastic. I don't need fake cartoon boobs. I'm good. They don't bother me. They're fake cartoon tits. Who gives a shit? Besides people that I guess are into fake cartoon tits. I don't know. Some people have some fetishes about fake shit, so enjoy your fetishes if you have them, I guess. You think next Nintendo console will be better after the one we won still? I don't understand the question. I'll be honest, I'm shocked the VMU type idea was never done again. I mean, all the other systems were selling well without it, so they didn't really have a reason. Am I gonna collab with Peppa Pig? No. The details we hear in live streams. Same shit I'd say if I was out in the real world. You know? You guys are awesome. OJ said your thumbnails suck and he'll do them for you. Where did he say he'd do them for free? I know he said that. He said. I saw the comments on Twitter. I will say this. I will say this, Jesse Beholder. My thumbnails do suck, by the way. I have like the worst thumbnails on YouTube. Like legitimately, no doubt, I have the worst fucking thumbnails on YouTube. My thumbnail game is horrendous. Now, OJ going, your thumbnails suck. You'll do them for free. He did call me out on Twitter and say my thumbnails suck. Never contacted me and said he'll do them for free. So if he said he'll do them for free, he must have said that on his live stream. Here's the thing. Unless he contacts me and says, bro, I'll make your thumbnails for free. It means nothing. So he needs to contact me and say that. Saying it on a live stream don't mean shit to me. Anyone can say it like, yeah, you know what? Player Essence, I'll make your next 10 videos for you for free. I don't mean shit unless I contact him and tell him, hey man, I'm willing to make your stuff for free. Thumbnails aren't difficult. I'm just not good at them. I'm not good with thumbnails. I've never been good with thumbnails. If he wants to make them, it's cool. But I doubt he'll ever make a thumbnail for me. Because here's the problem. Here's the problem with anyone who makes a thumbnail for me. I have a thumbnail guy, by the way. I just don't use them because it costs $12 per thumbnail, and that's more than my videos usually make. So I'd be losing money if I used them all the time. Use them for the podcast. So my podcast thumbnails usually look pretty good. But it's interesting because the way I work is I'll research a topic. I'll figure out what a video I want to make. I'll record the video. And then after I'm done editing, I start thinking about the thumbnail. Which means when the video's rendering, I'm ready for that video to go live within 20 minutes. Which means I have a 20-minute window in which if someone else is going to make a thumbnail, they need to be available and they need to make the thumbnail now. Which means I have a very strict schedule to get my thumbnails out. And I don't plan my videos ahead of time. Like he'll plan his video for the next day. So he'll be like, look, whatever video he's publishing tomorrow at like 7 or 8 a.m. or whatever it is, he already knows what it is because he's going to record and edit it and get it ready to go tonight. So he's got time. He knows what it is. He can plan ahead. I don't do that. My videos are very much, when the news lands, I make a video. Which means I need on-demand thumbnails. I'm not really so sure that OJ is going to be willing to do on-demand thumbnails. He might be willing to make thumbnails, but on-demand when I need it, don't know about that. Don't know about that. Love the guy. But until he contacts me and says, bro, I'll start making your thumbnails for free for a while. Cool. But until then, Justin Basil, thumbnails are overrated. You are incorrect, sir. Holy shit, are you incorrect? Thumbnails and titles are the two things that determine if your video is getting views. Forget the content. The content's how you keep people there. Like if you have the good content, that keeps people engaged. That makes people subscribe to the channel. So you need good content to grow the channel. But the basis of getting views is the title and the thumbnail. They matter more than anything else to get the views. To keep the views and keep them, you need a good video. Title and thumbnail are massive. When I have a really amazing title with a really great thumbnail, that's when I get 10,000 views on a video. Every time. Without fail. Any of my videos that get 10,000 or more views have a great title mixed with a very appropriate thumbnail, making it very clickable and usually very highly liked. Lots of high like to dislike ratios, like 98% like to dislike ratios. My video today, as an example, my video today isn't very good. My video today, the one that it has Mario going like this and a guy flipping a switch. Not a very good thumbnail. Not a very good title. There's a way I could title and thumbnail that would probably get more views. I just don't have that talent. That's my number one issue on YouTube is I don't have the talent to make clickable enough thumbnails and titles. Again, look at my image for my live stream. What about that thumbnail for my live stream makes you want to click on my live stream? What do you learn from that thumbnail? Oh, there's a switch with a old school Mario amiibo from Smash. What the fuck does that tell you? Why would that make you click? There's nothing in my thumbnail for my live stream that makes you click. It tells you nothing about what I'm talking about. It's a totally unrelated random image search off Google. The viewership on this right now, we've been averaging between 70 to 80 people watching this whole stream. We could have 150 plus if I had just a better thumbnail. A better thumbnail alone, we could have double the viewership. And I know it. In fact, better thumbnails alone, I could double the viewership across all of my videos. I'm just not good at it. But hey, man. OJ ever wants to hit me up, My DMs are open. He knows how to contact me. He knows how to contact me. He knows where I am. If he wants to offer, he can offer. I ain't going to reach out. You know, I'm one of those people. I don't reach out for help. I'm very stubborn about things. I'm very in-focused in how I do things. Everything's done by myself because I'm the only one I can rely on. Can I rely that OJ is going to be there at a random 9:30 in the morning when I need a thumbnail? Is he going to be available? I don't know. But I am, and that's where I'm putting the video out. Randomly, 1 p.m. Oh, I'm in another video. I need a thumbnail. Is he going to be available? I have no idea. But I am available. So, and yes, you can outsource thumbnails. It costs money. Thumbnails aren't cheap. And often cost more than what I make per video because I don't get a ton of views. Challenge. Nintendo Prime going to challenge. I'm not challenging him to do it. If he wants to reach out to me and offer, that's fine. But just saying it on a live stream don't mean anything. You know? That's just him interacting with the chat and poking some fun at my thumbnails. I wasn't there to watch. He probably was hoping I was there in the chat watching, but you know, I wasn't. I had my kids and other things going on. Yep, Young Tuna. Of course we're doing shots. I will note, $5 is not booze, though. For $5, we do a shot. We've done 2 of them, of this Mountain Dew Flamin' Hot. It's not very good. So if you do the $5 chat, that's not a shot. Obviously, you do 10, 20, 25. We chug / shotgun a beer. And tequila's at 50 because I keep hoping people are going to buy tequila shots because I'm trying to deal with my knee pain, but it's all right. Doctor won't give me the good pain meds, so. If someone offered for free, would you accept help with thumbnails? If they're good. Fiverr is usually not free. Fiverr, you gotta usually pay. Fiverr is pay for thumbnails. And the problem with Fiverr, and again, this isn't really a problem with Fiverr. Fiverr's great. It's turnaround time. Usually, and I've looked at thumbnails on Fiverr, people who I like their thumbnails to, they'd be a good person for my thumbnails. Either they require more information than I can give them because they basically expect me to design the thumbnail and then they make it. That's not going to happen because I suck at designing thumbnails. That's the whole fucking point. I have no idea. I don't have a good idea. That's why they suck. And number 2, they're always like, I need at least a 2-hour turnaround time. I'm not delaying my video by fucking 2 hours for a thumbnail. It's just not happening. I need the thumbnail within minutes. I need to be able to talk to you, 5 minutes later, have a thumbnail. You can't do that, I'm just going to make it myself. That's my reality. And that's why people don't really do thumbnails for me. Because even if they offer for free, like Player Essence offer for free, I need a 5 to 10 minute turnaround. And if you can't do that, I'm just going to make it myself. That's why I make my own thumbnails. I'm not delaying my videos waiting for a thumbnail. It's just not going to happen. So. Oh, by the way, podcast tomorrow night again, because the Bucks play on Wednesday. So Nintendo Prime podcast is going to be tomorrow night. For those wondering what's up with the next podcast, tomorrow night. I also think you're able to sometimes have a good thumbnail. I mean, I said every now and then I get a thumbnail together that's really good. Like if we look at that's really good for the video I make. So like if we go to my channel quick. Let me bring this up so I can see what I'm doing here. All right, so we go to my channel quick and we go to like every now and then I have a decent thumbnail. Let's see here. Like this thumbnail, I think this thumbnail works. Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo Switch Online. Now, this thumbnail works because it's literally just a free image. Someone already made it. It was sitting there on Google and it was appropriate. So this thumbnail works. However, the text on it could be redone to be more readable. The controller could be like, I don't know. It could be redone to be a bit better, but the concept of that thumbnail is fine. I didn't even have to make it because it already existed. But like a lot of these image with text on, so basic. None of those are really good. Like this thumbnail, not good. Again, I'm really bad with live stream thumbnails. I think those are probably my worst thumbnails I do. Let me scroll down here. But every now and then I happen to have a good one. Let's see. I thought this thumbnail was decent. Not the background. The background's a generic image, but the concept of putting these two Zelda games and then the PS5 coming to Switch thing, I think that this thumbnail ended up working, but this style of thumbnail isn't right for every video. Like, I've reused this style a few times. It's not right for every video. For this particular video, it was a good idea, but it's not a good idea for all videos. So I think this thumbnail worked, but then like this one was bad, and this one was bad, but this one was good. Like this one's not good. That's bad. Let's see here. Scrolling down. Let's see here. Another one that I thought was good I made. And you can see how many I'm scrolling by, and I think suck. I think this one worked out. Nintendo realized our worst fears. Okay. The title's too long. Title's too long. However, Nintendo realized our worst fears, and then Mario punching the delete button, that's a good thumbnail. Now, did it need the oh? I don't know if it needed the oh. Maybe it didn't need the text. But the idea of you see Mario punching a delete button, you're like, what the fuck? And then you read the title, Nintendo realized our worst fears. What the fuck is Nintendo deleting now, right? Like, that's the thing that rushes through your mind. Mario's punching a delete button, Nintendo realized our worst fears. What the hell is Nintendo deleting now? That's a good thumbnail. The I don't know. But the rest, the concept of that thumbnail is good. I don't even remember how I came up with that idea. I was probably randomly Google searching and I saw an image. I'm like, wait a second. What if I put a delete button and I think of like Mario punching it? So I thought that was a good thumb. Again, stupid generic live stream thumbnails. I'm so bad at those. Let's see here. This Wonderling one's a terrible thumbnail. I feel bad because it was a sponsored video and that was just such a shitty thumbnail. I should have bought a thumbnail for that one. After all, I got paid for it, right? This is a great thumbnail. So this one's got the cross section where it says Nintendo Direct and then the word leak. I don't like the font I'm using here because I use that same font on everything. I don't like the font. So I think the font used for the word leak is wrong. But I like the cross section Nintendo Direct and then cross section with games in different sizes. Mario Kart 9, Zelda, Xenoblade. That cross section. Now, I if I redid this, I'd probably want some sort of better outline here on this cross section here. I can't remember why I didn't have an outline here that separated that better. But I would probably use a different font if I redid this. But I like this. This is a good thumbnail. And it got 22,000 views. Now, obviously, Nintendo Direct leaking is always going to do well. But I usually don't get 20,000 view well. Why? Great title. Great thumbnail. I like that thumbnail. That's a good thumbnail. Sometimes I put myself in thumbnails. I used to do that a lot. I don't know if that always worked or not. I could start doing it again, but I don't know that it always worked out well for me. I mean, I thought this was a good thumbnail, but this was obviously a joke video. Let's see here. People got mad at me for this video because that's just what they do. So yeah, I mean, every now and then I come up with what I think is a good thumbnail, but it's very rare, and I never spend a lot of time doing it. I never spend a lot of time on my thumbnails, but every now and then I do think I come up with a good one. So Nameless says, isn't the delay worth the extra views from a good thumbnail? Sounds like you are kind of restricting yourself. You could say a delay is worth it, but sometimes the news you're reporting, the viewership's based on how fast you get the report out. Let's say a Nintendo Direct is announced. Nintendo announces a Nintendo Direct right now. So I end the stream and go put a video up. The faster I get that video up, the more views I'm going to get. So if I have to delay that video by an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to get a thumbnail, by then I'm not going to get the views. So the problem when you are a news channel is some of the reliability of what you're doing is that you need to get the news out quickly. You need to inform people as quickly as possible before YouTube swallowed up all the other videos in the algorithm. So you gotta be quick. Now, if I was just doing a news recap video like I used to do, where I just do one video a day and I recap all the news from the day, sure, you have a bit more time with the video like that. But now that I'm not really doing those videos very often, I'm back to doing quicker style, getting the news out right away kind of stuff. That leads to, hey, I really do need to just get it out right away. I don't have time to wait. Now, thankfully, getting a Nintendo Direct announcement video, it's not too difficult. Coming up with Nintendo Direct style thumbnails, I think are probably something that I excel at. But that was just obviously just an example. Do you think RGT is botting subs? He has 423,000 subscribers, but only averages. No. No, he's not botting subs. That's how it works. Welcome to the YouTube algorithm. As an example, let me show you a channel that nobody would accuse of botting subs. Spawnwave. 83, 40, 42, 120, 86, 92, 130, 107, 109, 199, 54, 111, 98, 125, 127, 127, 91, 72, 53. Spawncast, of course, 103. So he's getting on his normal videos about between 90 and 110. Occasionally has one blow up. But his channel has, 200,000 more subscribers? And he's getting, double the views of RGT? Like, RGT 85 is fine. Like, as an example, you could look at my channel. Like, RGT's got 425,000. I mean, look, 27, this is today. 34, 58, 31, 40, 58, 32, 73, 41, 51. Okay, now look at my channel, right? My channel has, let's be generous and say I have 1/4 of the subscribers he does. I don't. But let's say I'm a 100,000 subscriber YouTube channel. What am I getting? Well, 62 watching live, 1.9, 4.2, 1.8, 2.4, 5.2, 5.5, 4.2, 1.3. If I had 400,000 plus subscribers, I would probably be getting the viewership of RGT 85. So does that mean I'm botting subs? No. YouTube algorithm, baby. I'm not playing the algorithm correctly. Neither is RGT 85. When you look at his thumbnails, they all look the same. Every thumbnail looks the same. They're all the same thumbnail. The same thumbnail. Over. It's just the same damn thing. Over and over and over and over and over again. This is not algorithm friendly. And I know that. These are not good thumbnails. You want to know good thumbnails? Player Essence. Player Essence has great thumbnails. So, as you see, Player Essence has about 10,000 more subscribers than I do. So he's not that much bigger than me, right? He's only 10,000. Imagine. We're in terms of the relativeness of YouTube, Player Essence and Nintendo Prime are around the same size. We're within 10,000 subscribers of each other. We're around the same size. And what's he getting? 6.4, 9.1, 9.8, 4.2, 7.7, 20, 8.7, 21, 14, 8.9. These are great thumbnails. See? Sometimes he puts his face in it because he's reacting. Sometimes he uses that silly cartoon version he has of himself that someone made. I guess he uses that for his live streams, the Player Essence cartoon. These are great thumbnails. See, there he is with his face in it. So every now and then he puts his face in, but he doesn't do it all the time. Sometimes he does. The text is easy to read. It's basic. A lot of it just makes you ask a question. Look how many times he uses the word what. What? 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 Wait. What? Wait. What? He uses like the same words, but they're very clear, and combine that with his title and the very simple but obvious imagery he uses, the way he blends these images together. These are two different images that are using a brush blend. So he uses a brush blend in the middle to blend them so it looks like one image and looks super clean. It's highly clickable. These are highly clickable thumbnails. And there's some variety. Sometimes he puts his face in. Sometimes he doesn't. Depends on what the news is. Depends on what he's talking about. Depends on if he's reacting. These are good thumbnails. So, you know. Yeah, like, and it's hard too, because sometimes, like, you see, like, Mr. Beast, right? He's basically at 100 million subscribers. Like, you know, he still gets a shitload of views on all his videos. But that's because his videos are very organically grown. So he can get a ton of views from people who aren't subscribed. And that's why he does so well. Well, the hot sauce secret of YouTube is, if you're a big YouTuber and you're successfully getting a lot of views per video. So let's say you're, I don't know, like beat 'em ups. I haven't looked at beat 'em ups channel in a while. And by the way, I examine channels all the time. Me and my MCM are always looking at other channels that are in my field. The beat 'em ups is one of the biggest in my field. And you'll see 200, 252, 322, 405, 526, etc., etc., etc. He's getting what? About an average of, let me see, a third of what his total subscriber base is per video. I would say on average, around a third. Why the hell isn't he able to get 1 million per video? He's got almost 1.5 million subscribers. Why doesn't he get 1 million? Reality is, when you see a video, let's find a really high viewed recent video of his. This one. How to get any Nintendo Switch game for free. 737,000 views. 400,000 of those views are going to be people who have never seen a beat 'em ups video before. The reality is, on high viewed videos, is that most of that viewership are new. And that's what you want. You want to keep hitting on the new. RGT, his videos are only getting between 30 and 50,000 a video because he's just hitting his fan base. I bet you if you looked at his metrics, a majority of his views are going to be from subscribers and notifications, which is fine. But he's not hitting on a new audience. And that's where you get the big views, is when you hit on new. So, just my tips. So yeah, so for me, I'm not hitting a new audience at all right now. Now, some of that's because I got hacked. I was doing really well before we got hacked. I was hitting on new audiences all over the place. It was great. But, as Mario movie's delayed, do you think there'll be a big first party release in December? Maybe. Nintendo Academy. A couple things I changed on my channel, which led to more subs per video. Stop inviting people to sub and then went straight into the topic. If people love the content, they sub. Yeah, I did that in some videos. Didn't make a difference. I think it's negligible. I think it just depends. It's different content creator to content creator. You know? I don't think asking people to subscribe and not asking people to subscribe, I don't really think in the end it makes a big difference per content creator. I mean, let's see what happens when you don't have a giveaway going on. Because I happen to notice that the moment you announced what your 10,000 subscriber giveaway was going to be, that suddenly... Just saying. Let's see what happens when the giveaway's not going on. Like, I wonder if you weren't doing any giveaways, would you have the subscriber growth you're having? I don't know. It's hard to know because you can't like go back in time and delete your giveaways, right? Like, you don't know, right? Yeah, Spawnway does look the same in every video. It's literally like like every thumbnail. But hey, it fits his personality. That's the thing. Like, it'd be one thing if you're like, man, that's boring. Sure. But I mean, his personality is very straight shooter. Right to the point. Straight to the point guy. You know, straight shooter, does, no frills. That's just the way John is. At least that's the way he is on his videos. So, the thumbnail, just basically changing out a new t-shirt every thumbnail is works for him. You know, he's found his style, he's found his groove, and he found what works for him. So, certain design in your thumbnails. Well, yeah, thumbnails are a big deal. Thumbnails are huge. RGG Spawn Wave beat 'em ups, all selfie thumbnails. Like I said, overrated. Hey, what's wrong with the selfie thumbnail, man? Trying to tell me I don't look good enough for thumbnails? Wait a second. You can't tell me that's not an award-winning smile right there? Come on now. Come on now. You see this face on a thumbnail and you go, fuck, I gotta click that video, right? Damn, that guy looks hot. What's going on? Dude, who's that sexy man? Dude, hype responsibly? What if I pointed an arrow down to my dick in a thumbnail? I wonder if that would get clicks. What's going on down there? This is making it seem like I'm got a giant dick. Let me see here. Someone did a test that's showing the percent that's not subscribed in a video helped a lot for smaller channels. The percent that's not subscribed. Yeah, that's in terms of yeah, some videos when they're doing their call to, they call it a call to action. When you ask someone to subscribe, it's a call to action. And what some channels do in a call to action is they go, hey, did you know that 70% of my viewers aren't subscribed to the channel? If you're really enjoying this video, why don't you subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of future videos? And then they'll show an example of a video that has that. The problem is for me that since we got hacked, that's not really true. Like if I go to let's say the 4,000 view video. Okay, that's one of my better performing ones of late. And I go down there and I go to here. I'll show you guys this video. I don't really need to hide this. It's fine. I've gained 1 subscriber from it. Woohoo! Positive 1 subscriber. But you go to, what is it? Is it reach? I can't remember which metric it is. All right. Okay, no, this is my Twitter account sends a majority of my external traffic. Then Discord, then Google, then Facebook. But that's not, this isn't telling you where my traffic comes from. This is just 1.9% of my traffic came from external sources. 69.5% of this 1.9% is Twitter. Here you go. Traffic types. So here you got browse features. Okay. Traffic from the home page or home screen, the subscription feed, and other browsing features. So here's the problem with this. This stat here doesn't separate out subscriptions. Okay. This is different. YouTube search. This is people finding you through YouTube search. Notifications would be, obviously, people have notifications on. But sometimes if you go in here, you could see, here's the thing. They do not separate out the browse feature to subscriber. There's a way to check the subscribers. Hold on. So that's not the stat we want. Impressions, views, watch time, bell notification sent. Data takes 2 to 3 days to process. It's so dumb. Yeah, so this doesn't tell me what percent was subscribed. Is it under engagement? Audience retention. 40% is actually pretty good for me. It's usually around 33, so that's a 7% bump. Likes versus dislikes. Somewhere in here, it'll tell me is that our audience maybe. Yeah, so like watch time is an example. 70. This is usually the one I see in a lot of videos. Did you know that a majority of my viewers, oh yeah, you're subscribed. So like if I went into a call to action, I'm like, hey, did you know 27% of you aren't subscribed to my channel? That doesn't sound good. That means a majority of people that are watching my videos are subscribed to my channel. So this is the one that you usually see in a lot of videos. Yeah. So there you go. So right now, majority of my people that watch my videos are subscribed. I'm not reaching a new audience. I haven't reached a new audience since I got hacked. I announced to my followers I would not be announcing any more giveaways. The main milestone ones are in place. But where am I seeing growth is on a per video basis. No. I know I hear you, Nintendo Academy, and you don't talk. I know you don't talk about. Dude, I watch your videos. Not all of them, but enough. I watch like 3 a week. I watch enough. I know you don't call to action for your giveaways. I know. Call to action for my giveaways doesn't work either. Like, even if I told people I have giveaways going on, they don't subscribe. So, I'm just saying, it's well known. And here's how I can say it's well known. Even though you don't mention it in every video. When you search up Nintendo Academy. Let me show this quick. I just typed in Nintendo Academy. Now I'm subscribed. But Shrunk, second annual giveaway. Let's see here. Sorry, no, it was on your channel. I noticed that on your channel, so I clicked on your channel, and there was 2 things I noticed. Where is it? 10K giveaway event update. Like, every now and then you do something to remind people of the giveaway. And that's okay, by the way. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like every now and then I remind people of Prime Gaming Fest. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I would be very curious to see if you were never doing giveaways. If you retcon the giveaways, would you have the growth? I know you're seeing success video per video, and I'm not trying to knock you. You know I'm not trying to knock you, Paul. You know I'm not trying to knock you. But I've been at this a long time, and I've seen a lot of various strategies. I've applied many of them, and I've seen various levels of success. It's just something I noted, that around the time you started talking about the milestone giveaways, you started getting more growth. Could just be a coincidence. But people do know you do giveaways on your channel. I will say this, though. You make better videos than I do. So, why are people subscribing? You make better videos than I do. My entire audience should be your audience. I should have an audience that's your size. I should be getting 300 views a video. You should be getting 5,000 views a video. Only about your channel is you're so laid back and chill. I try. I don't really try. I guess I don't really try to be laid back and chill. I just am. How many Nintendo Prime subs from the ZI days? 18,000. Most of your views are from subs. That's kind of rare. That's bad. As I just said, most of my views being from subs is bad. Because what that means is I'm not reaching a new audience, so I'm not growing. If you don't reach a majority new audience, you don't grow. So it's not good. It's not good. You don't want it where it's like 72% are subscribers. Like that's not good. That's not a good number. You want it more like 40% of views are subs. 60% are people who just found your channel. That's how you grow. Plus, on the unsubscribe after the giveaway. So Retro Geek, I can tell you from experience, I've never experienced mass unsubscribing after a giveaway is over. It's never happened for me. So I can't speak to it. Maybe it's because I always have another giveaway coming. But I have never noticed mass unsubscribing after a giveaway. So personally, when people say, plus people unsubscribe after, I've never had that happen. So my experience is when people subscribe, they say subscribe. They're too lazy to hit unsubscribe. Usually they only hit unsubscribe when they get reminded to unsubscribe. Yeah, reviews are tough because of how much time it takes to do a review. It's really time consuming. Giveaways should not be, I agree, that should not be the only reason you subscribe to a channel. I usually follow people for the subject. If they're too over the top or paint dry, boring, then I unsub. Joycey J, you're about to unsubscribe. Am I dry and boring? God! Ah! Just destroy this bottle. I just heard I'm dry and boring. I'm just kidding. Having a good time. So much about YouTube, I think I understand. Then I go see the inner working. Dude, the inner workings of YouTube are fascinating, and they're ever changing because the algorithm is an AI bot created by YouTube that YouTube doesn't even fully understand. That's the scary thing. Susan Wojcicki doesn't even fully understand the YouTube algorithm because it's always evolving through artificial intelligence. So because of that, it's very difficult to keep up with the changes. However, it is possible, and I do a lot of research on it every week. I spend probably at least 3 hours a week researching the YouTube algorithm, keeping up with the AI updates and everything. Unfortunately, though, that doesn't solve my key problem that I'm bad with thumbnails, and I'll never be good at thumbnails because I excel more in the personality, the delivering of the content, and even editing. I can edit videos decent if I want. I can do a pretty good job editing videos if I really want to. But the whole thumbnail thing is just not my forte, and I don't make enough per video to pay someone to do thumbnails. So, all right. That was new. What was that hourglass thing that just popped up? How do I make that pop up again? What the hell was that, YouTube? Need to say giveaway? Are we doing giveaways? Aren't happening until Prime Gaming Fest. There's been a large percentage of your subs watching a video and that being your only source of views. Yeah, there's a big difference. So he said, how is it suspicious that it's your subscribers that are watching your videos? Is that not how it's supposed to be? I mean, naturally, you subscribe, I see the video, they click on it. So put it this way. When I have a video that gets 5,000, 6,000 views, that's a solid, decent performing video for me. Now, I prefer 10,000, but 5,000, 6,000, that's a solid, decent performing video. 10,000 is a great performing video. Anything under 4,000 is a bad performing video. So when I get 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 views, which is usually where I target, even then, it's still 70+% of the people watching are my subscribers. Now, what does that tell you? And I've had this talk with my MCM. This tells you I have a very loyal fan base. Okay? And if I release a video on a topic with an appropriate title and thumbnail that has high interest to my actual subscribers, they show up. I get the 5,000, 6,000 views on the video. They show up. I have a very big, well-supported community. What I lack is an ability to reach new viewers. That's why it's bad. When the only source of your views, or the primary source of your views, is just subscribers, it means you're not reaching anyone new. You're only reaching the people that are already subscribed. How are you supposed to grow if nobody new ever finds your video? How am I supposed to get to 100,000 subscribers if I don't reach 20,000 new people? So that's why. Typically, you want a 40-60 split. Now, I have a very loyal fan base. That's to be damn sure. My channel makes more money than it has any right to make because of the support of the fan base, because of the 162 members I have, and because of the donations I get. I mean, yeah, the super chats admittedly have been kind of low the last couple of weeks. Like $20 a video or $20 a live stream, which is not much. But hey, That's more than made up for the fact by then randomly, the last week of the month, suddenly I get like a $200 night or a $300 night. It's insane. I have such amazing community support. It's very obvious I have a pretty loyal fan base. Like, when people subscribe to my channel and they catch my live streams and they interact with me and they enjoy my videos, like, I have a very loyal following. However, how do I add to that following when new people aren't seeing my videos? And that is the $1 million conundrum. How do I grow without reaching new people? Well, how do you reach new people? You make appealing thumbnails and titles that appeal to new viewers. Okay, but then how do I get the algorithm to pick up that video? Well, the algorithm still thinks my channel is a bot channel. So it doesn't spread my videos. So what am I reliant upon? Things I'm not asking people to do. My MCN wants me to ask every one of my viewers to like every video. Like every single video, even if you don't watch it. Comment on every single video, even if you don't watch it. Share my video, even if you don't watch it, on your Twitter, on your Facebook, on your TikTok, on your Instagram. Share it everywhere. Because the only way to get the algorithm to flip around my channel and start sharing it naturally is if the people who are already fans of my channel are sharing the content for me. And that brings in new views. And as those new views come in, YouTube goes, oh, wait, this content's being shared an awful lot. It's being linked in an awful lot of places. Man, people must really like this content. And then they start to organically share. But here's the problem. How do I go into a video? Say, I don't know. Let's go find a quick piece of news. I'll just quick go to Nintendo Life. Let's say we're doing this. We're not making a video on this because we already talked about it tonight. But let's say we're doing a news piece on this. So I busted a video. Oh, the Mario movie's been delayed to 2023. Right? That's the title or some form of title. Mario movie's been delayed. Whatever it is. It'd be some form of title like that. How do I go at the beginning of the video? Hey everyone, welcome back to Nintendo Prime, and today we're talking about the Mario movie being delayed. But what we really need to talk about is how you can help us bounce back from getting hacked. All you have to do is like the video, leave a comment, and by the way, I would really appreciate if every one of my subscribers would share this video on every single social media platform, Instagram, TikTok, blah, 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 because that's going to help us bounce back in the algorithm and do really, really well. And you know what? Do new viewers want to hear about that bullshit? If you're someone brand new to watching it, do you want to hear a minute-long rambling begging my subscribers to desperately share my content? I'm going to guess no. Maybe I'm guessing wrong, but I'm going to guess that's a big fucking no. So, we're left with what we have today, where, So how do I get my subscriber base to do it without putting it in the video to do it? A pinned comment where hey, please share this video. But then if they see that pinned comment, are they going to think I'm desperate? There's not a win-win situation to get people to do it. Like, I could tell you guys to do it on my live stream. Hey, all you people on my live stream, please do this to all my videos. Most of you still aren't going to do it. So, yeah, it's a weird conundrum, Cosmic Drew. And the thing is, it's only until the algorithm picks me back up. Once I get picked back up and they start sharing me organically to new, then I don't need people sharing me as much. But when's that going to happen? I don't know. My views have stabilized, but I don't want to stabilize. I want to grow. How do I grow? I don't know. There's nothing. I mean, it all goes back to when we got hacked in October. And it's been an uphill fight since then. Who knows? Maybe the key is having player essence make my thumbnails. But I don't honestly think he's actually going to do it. So he wants to do it fine. He knows making thumbnails doesn't take very long. It's not a difficult process. It's just some people have a talent for it, some don't. Um, who's talking about live streams? Nate wants and deserves a larger base. Well, Prime Gaming Fest will probably perform all right. I'm anticipating Prime Gaming Fest to be smaller than last year. You guys know we had like 700, 800, 900 people live the whole time. I think it's going to be more like 400, 500 live. Because we're not going, there's no guarantee Nintendo's going to be there, so we don't have the guarantee of Nintendo main content. We could see Sparks of Hope, of course, from Ubisoft. But there's no guarantee that there's going to be a bunch of Nintendo news. However, we are going to be having live streams going so long, right? Like there's going to be a paid thumbnail that's going to rock, just like last year. And the streams are going to be set up, a month ahead of time. And we're going to be probably the first people on the internet live with news about, Summer Game Fest and recapping things and having special guests on and doing entertaining things and obviously having the giveaways. So I project we'll have like 400, 500 live. I don't think we're going to be quite as big as last year, even though we're bigger than last year because of the there's no Nintendo. I could be wrong, and I'm happy if I am wrong. If we are bigger, if we're double the size of last year, that would be crazy to me. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. People go to Twitch for live streams. On YouTube, they get less views. I think it's a bit of a misnomer to say that live streams get less views on YouTube. As an example, when Ninja was streaming on YouTube, in between Mixer and Twitch, he was getting more views on YouTube than he does on Twitch today. That's just one example. There's many others. Obviously, we all know, rest in peace, Etika was a massive streamer, and he did it on YouTube. You can stream on YouTube and get huge views. I don't think that's actually true. In fact, one could argue as a streamer, it's harder to get found on Twitch because everybody's streaming. On YouTube, not everybody's streaming. I've seen smaller channels grow as streamers. I've seen them grow. It's happened. Not just established streamers. Like, obviously, Ludwig and stuff like that are always, Dr. Disrespect. But, because they started on Twitch and got big there. I think it's harder to get discovered on Twitch than it's ever been because there's more people trying to stream than there's ever been. I think you'd be surprised. You just got to hit the right audience at the right time. Like, the reason that our E3 extravaganza went so well last year is we had E3 streams set up before E3 did. So we were hitting those search results right away. So like when we were doing Prime Gaming Fest, like I have to make sure that I'm advertising it as a Summer Game Fest event. So we're hitting all of the Summer Game Fest search results before Summer Game Fest does. And so that way, when people look up Summer Game Fest 2022, we're listed right along with them, and we're live before they're live. So when people are looking for it, we end up being the top result because we're live. That's what's cool about YouTube search is that when you search for something and there is actually, like when you search for E3 2022, we were popping up as the top search result for much of E3 before the E3 stream started because we were up before IGN. We were streaming before everybody. We were live before every other live show. Like people are like, why do you do 12, 17-hour days when there's only like 3 hours of stuff going on? Because we're live before everybody else. And we don't just sit there and twiddle our thumbs with our thumbs up our ass that whole time. If you guys remember E3 Extravaganza, everything up, all the pre-show stuff, we'd have a pre-show for like 3-4 hours before the main event even started. We had something planned. Do you guys remember? We had a schedule. Okay, we're going to kick off with a giveaway. We're going to talk about this topic here. This is going to be a members only time to chat. This is going to be when we have a special guest on to talk. This is when we're going to do a contest. This is when Eric and I are going to face off against each other and do the one chip challenge. This is when you guys are going to get a chance to do a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tournament. This is when this is when that, blah, 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 blah. Remember how we were very structured, okay? So because of that, our E3 extravaganza, if you showed up and you're like, what the hell is this thing? And all of a sudden you show up to the E3 extravaganza and you're like, what the hell is this? Why is this up before E3? What's going on? Is there new announcements here? And you see, who the hell are these guys? What the fuck? Why are they doing the one chip? Okay, they're fighting each other. Wait, someone's doing the one chip challenge. What the fuck? Why are they slapping each other? Why are they wearing suits? Who's this person? Wait a second. They brought a special guest. What? Wait, why? Dude, this conversation about yesterday is really engaging. The speculation about what might come today, man. That's what I want from pre-shows. I want speculation and conversation about what's to come. I don't want advertisements thrown in my face. So what ended up happening is we had so much structure around the pre-show and the post-show, but the pre-show especially, that people came and it felt like a real show. And that's what's crazy, is it felt like a real show produced by people much bigger than me. Planned events, entertaining segments, giveaways, and everything else. It was insane. So people would come and like, what the hell is this? And then they would decide to stay. Like, oh, E3 is about to begin, I better switch. Then they'd see us hit a button, and all of a sudden there's the E3 show, and here's us. And then we're providing entertainment during the segments when E3's dragging. We're doing giveaways. We're popping off with contests in the middle of E3 happening when E3's sucking ass. Like, that was the key. We retained viewership because we were up before everybody else, starting our show before everybody else, and being entertaining before everybody else. And it's a very difficult thing to do. Like, we predetermined who was going to be facing us in Smash before we got to the day. So we already knew who was going to be fighting us in Smash from the fan base before we started the stream. So we wouldn't have to like wait around and be like, all right, let's pick someone from the audience to fight us in Smash. Like, no, we already knew who was going to do it. They were already fronted with me on Switch, and it was really easy to get into the matches, right? Really easy to get your opportunity to win a $20 eShop gift card. So that's what I'm talking about, where it's really crazy to think about how I structured that show. And this year, it's going to be even crazier. You know, we're planning out things like a Wheel of Fortune, a video game Wheel of Fortune. And obviously the participants from the fan base, which will be fans, and they'll be competing for a prize. And there'll be a bonus prize even, just like there is in real Wheel of Fortune. So there'll be the one prize you win by being the winner of the 4, then you get your bonus round to get the additional prize. Obviously the people participating in that will be pre-drawn ahead of time. So we'll have it already organized. They'll know what time they need to show up. If they don't show up, we'll have backup people who can fill in. But like, that's just an example. Like, we didn't do anything crazy like that last time. This year, we're going to be using multiple sets. This year, there's going to be even more Nate versus Eric stuff. And then instead of it being like, oh, it's Nate versus Eric for the one chip challenge, we don't know what the loser's going to do because there's going to be a wheel. And we're going to spin a damn wheel. And what it lands on, the loser has to do. So, like, plus the scheduled giveaways. We just got some more giveaway stuff, which I can't talk about yet. But we just locked in some stuff with to get some more physical items to give away. Because obviously we like to get some physical items. So we got some more physical items coming. I'm really excited for what's happening. And I just can't wait, man. Like, it's a lot of work, but I have no idea how big the show is going to be. I just presume it's going to be smaller than it was last year because Nintendo might not be involved. But I could be wrong. It could be reaching whole new audiences. Could be reaching whole new audiences. I have no idea. But I'm projecting 400, 500 live. So about half of what we were doing last year. And if it's more than that, kick ass. Kind of participate in that, Nate? It'll just be something people can sign up for. I'll announce it later, and it's random draw. It's random draw. It's not going to be anything more than that. Cosmic Drew. Yeah. Thank you, Cosmic Drew, for the $5. Thank you, buddy. He says, barely any YouTubers discuss this side of their channel with their subscribers. This kind of openness has kept me around. I truly appreciate it. Yeah, no problem, man. I'm really open about my channel. Example, there's still giveaway prizes I haven't sent yet. I know some people are probably, oh, yeah, I still have a bucket of them back there. They'll all be sent before the event. But that's another reason why we haven't been doing giveaways. I got the cruise coming up. I got that event I got to take care of, and I got those giveaways to send out. So all my finances are committed to the show, to the cruise, and to getting those giveaways stuff taken care of, including some digital items we haven't taken care of. So, yeah, we're rocking over here. But cheers. Ah! Dude, the more of it you do, the worse it gets. That's like the third one I've done. That Mountain Dew fire shit is disgusting. We don't have any dates yet. My God, I can't wait till we have dates. What's this? Sorry, Yulia was asking about an AirTag. I'm pretty sure that's just the AirTag we put in our car because it's registered to my phone, not hers. So it was like telling her, "Oh, an AirTag's on you." I'm like, "Yeah, it's the one in the car." Bone in or boneless for wings? I like the taste of bone in better, but I get boneless because I don't eat all the meat off the bone in ones, so I feel really bad, like I'm wasting. So I just get boneless. You're dateless. Calling it right now. Mountain Dew Flamin' Hot will crash and burn. Oh, I mean, this isn't going to be around forever. But, it ain't good. Dew with a blast of heat and citrus. Okay, so the citrus, there you go. There's where your, there's where your live wire is coming from. But, gets worse the more of it I do. And it's warm, so definitely not great warm. I'm just checking the score. I know the Celtics won. That's all. What's the score of the other game? Wasn't there another playoff game? The Raptors beat the 76ers. Hot damn. They beat them at the 76ers. Holy shit. Are they going to push to 7 games because Embiid's hurt? Joel Embiid only scored 20 points. That thumb has to be killing him, dude. Has to just be killing him. And how about the choke artist, James Harden? Dude, that dude just chokes every playoffs, and he's choking again. Oh my God. Are the Raptors going to come back and knock off the 76ers? That would be insane. And it's only because Joel Embiid's hurt. It's crazy. And not that you guys care about any of that. I'm a big NBA fan, so. Do you think holding off dates is still in talks with Nintendo? I don't think Nintendo would make them hold off dates, but I have no idea. I don't know what Jeff's doing. Jeff's a big boy. Have I seen Massive Talent yet? Isn't that movie about Nicolas Cage? Like Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage. I have not seen it yet, no, but I do want to see that movie. It does look good. Hey, what I miss? What do you think the update will be tomorrow? What update tomorrow? I don't know what you're talking about. What update tomorrow? Is there something going on tomorrow I don't know about? What update is... What are people talking about? What update? I'm confused. Is there something I don't know about? The reason I got to switch OLED and planned and always turning it completely off and leaving it in my dock, literally 24/7, could damage the battery. Switch has a smart controller with the battery, so it shouldn't damage it too much. I wouldn't expect full life out of it like later. Like if you leave it on your dock for like 4 years, it's still it's not probably going to be like still a 3-hour battery life 4 years later, but it still should be 2 plus. Shouldn't damage it that bad. They have smart battery control. NSO. Well, why is there an NSO update tomorrow? Who said the NSO is being updated tomorrow? We just got an update to NSO last week. So who thinks there's going to be one tomorrow? Who said there's going to be one tomorrow? We literally just got an NSO update last week. Don't know why people think we're getting one tomorrow. Schedule maintenance. People do know that there's not an update every time there's maintenance, right? They also know that like Nintendo Switch Sports comes out this week, right? Not every time there's maintenance is there an update, guys. You know, there's a popular game about to release. It has online play. I don't know. Could the maintenance be related to the release of a major online multiplayer game coming later this week? I don't know. Maybe. Like, so I don't think there's gonna be a new anything tomorrow. I could be wrong, by the way. I don't work at Nintendo. It's not like I actually know what they're doing. Hey, we crossed 100 likes. Sweet. Need to go sleep. Yeah, I gotta head out too. It's 11:30. I gotta try to clean the house up a little bit before Yulia gets home. You guys are awesome though. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. I do appreciate it. Shout out to all of our super chatters tonight. We had so here's one thing I don't get. J-Lo, are you here, J-Lo? And just not been saying anything? So last day we streamed, 4 days ago, last Thursday. Right when I ended the stream, I had this thing pop up. I had this. J-Lo donated $50, right? That popped up after I ended the stream. I just refreshed the pop-up. But the $50 didn't show up. The $50 did not show up. So the donation sheet, oh, I wonder, hold on. I bet you J-Lo did it with a credit card. Hold on. That could explain it. The credit card does not go to my PayPal. That could explain a lot, actually. Credit card payments do not go to PayPal. Let me look. Because I'm waiting for JLo to be here, because I was going to do the $50 shot and custom song, but JLo obviously isn't here. Where is... I got to see if this actually came through, then I'll do it. I didn't think it came through. I know, Link, you have to go potty. I'll be there in a second. Yeah, okay. JLo did do it with a credit card. Okay. So there it is. There's the money. So JLo really did donate the 50. All right, we're good. We're good on that. I totally forgot that if you use the direct donation link, use a credit card, it doesn't go to the same spot. So All right. We're all good. So yeah, next time J-Lo's here, guys, remind me of that $50 dono that J-Lo dropped last live stream that didn't get credited. Remind me so J-Lo gets the custom song and the shot of Jose, okay? So remind me. We got to kick off the stream that way. I'm going to refresh that donation again like J-Lo just did it. And it'll be hey J-Lo, this is because you did this before. Didn't get shouted out. I want J-Lo to know I saw it. So, all right, guys. You guys are awesome. Have a good night. I'll catch you tomorrow. We got the podcast tomorrow. We will not be live streaming Wednesday. Be back live streaming Thursday. And then we'll see you about Friday.